All right. Quick little check to see if we are live. That is the most important thing. So 1 second. This is going to be an exciting one, guys. You're definitely not going to want to miss this one. Let's just make sure that we are, in fact, live and working, because I told you I'm not great at live streams. This is the first one, and we are live. Perfect. So we are good to go. All right. So what are we doing today? This is going to be super exciting. Today they released the MCP and the API for Meta ads, meaning that you can now connect your Meta ads to an agent to run ads, test ads, improve ads, and actually make your ads better through something like the Andre Karpathy auto research loop, all completely from an agent. So you can have AI run your Meta ads for you, so you can take the equivalent of a 200 IQ person that knows everything that was ever made and have it run your Facebook ads. I'm going to show you everything, how to connect it to your agent. I'm going to talk you through the Meta business ad creation process, and we are also going to generate a Super Bowl level ad today. Why is my hat all screwed up? We're going to go through a Super Bowl level ad creation today with Higgsfield, and I'm not shilling for Higgsfield. I don't get any money for this. I do get money, however, for RoofClaw, and so if you want, I'm going to be showing you how to do this through connecting a RoofClaw instance to the Meta Business Ads and connecting it to Higgsfield, and we're going to generate a Super Bowl ad here live. Again, I do these live streams at 9 o'clock. This is my second live stream in history. I fully expect it to suck, and so you probably shouldn't watch it, but if you want to watch me bash my way through this, then we will get through this together, and I'm excited to show it to you because honestly, I'm pretty excited about the idea of running Facebook ads from an agent, because here's the thing, the Facebook ad platform changes all the time. The buttons move around. Like my whole business started because I did Facebook ads for my roofing company. That's how I got into this whole situation of running like roofing business partner as a company, was because I got famous for doing Facebook ads in 2016. And I helped a bunch of roofers with that back then. And then that's transformed into everything that this is today. And so over the years, when it went from Power Editor to the Ads Manager, I started to get confused inside the Facebook ad platform. I know what needs to exist. It's just that I don't necessarily always know where the buttons are inside it. So the ability to use the API to run Facebook ads from an agent while taking advantage of a 200 IQ that can read at 150 words per second is amazing. And so there's a couple things that I want to show you today. One of those things I'm going to show you is we're going to be talking about how to actually connect your roofing roofing company's ads to an OpenClaw agent. So that's actually working through. You can see here, I tested it. I managed to max out the API credits on here. We're going to be using this ad for today to actually post the ads to the Facebook Ads Manager. So we're not going to be doing the whole thing inside here and then run into this rate limit. That was me testing it earlier, but that is all I have truly tested. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to be talking about a tool called Higgsfield. And again, no sponsored. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't make any money, but I've always wanted to get into this and actually use AI to do it. And now I finally have the opportunity to do it. And that's this tool Higgsfield, which is super cool. It allows you to generate videos. It's truly like giving a video producer everything they need. This is the extent of what I've done inside Higgsfield. This is all I've done, is I've created 3 pictures with Higgsfield. That's it. But there's so much more to this tool. Like you can actually create like consistent characters. You can create all kinds of like you can use these incredible video models. Everything you see right now, if it looks good with AI, which I don't know how many things you've seen, there are like full cinematic videos that convince you that Elon Musk and Neil Patrick Harris are running like an end of the world video. Like if you think that the AI slop is the equivalent of all you have, like all AI video has to offer, you're crazy. And so I'm going to walk you through creating a Super Bowl ad. Now, if you want to take advantage of all of this, if you want to actually walk away and be able to use it, what I will tell you is that I am putting everything that I'm sharing today, everything is going to be completely free. You will be able to point your RoofClaw or your agent at this GitHub repo, and you will be able to completely walk yourself through. So as I go, you will see me posting commits to this thing. So you can see I already did one pull request here. It is closed. where we added the Super Bowl ad creative process for steps 1 and 2. That's because I have my own video that I've been dying to make for years, and a video that I've always wanted to make something for my business. And so today is my excuse to do that with you guys. So I'm actually going to go through it. And so if you guys are here and you guys are digging this, leave me a comment, something like that. Let me know you guys are here and in the room, and if this is something you guys want to see. I don't do live streams all the time. I'd love to know like who's here, where you're coming from, what you want to do. But I want to show you one last thing before we dive into it, give everybody a chance to kind of just get to a picture for what we're doing. I have always wanted to create this video for literally years. It's called Quiet the Doubters, an Ode to the Roofer. And there's an inspirational video that I saw that was for a software called Infusionsoft. And this software, legit, like, boys, we're all men here, but like, legit brought a tear to my eye years ago because it talked about how hard entrepreneurship was. And I was like, man, why is this video so good? And so I watched this other video called Story Beats. It's called it's called Save the Cat. And it's like the Save the Cat beat sheet. It's how every single video you've ever watched, from Donkey Kong to Shrek to Die Hard, is the same movie, right? It's the same movie with the same beats. You set the scene, you introduce the character has a problem. The problem is internal, external, and philosophical, or all three. And then it introduces so they're the hero. It introduces a problem. Then the guide shows up. The guide has a plan. The plan has a bunch of like fun and games. And then there's this climactic challenge. And then either the world changes around the character, or the character changes to the world. That is every movie ever made, the Save the Cat beat sheet. So it's like, I wanted to work on this. Now, if you look in here, if I go in here and look at the audit version history, okay? So if you go into the version history, I first created this document August 30th, 2023 is when I started basically breaking down this video into what I thought I could turn this into a video about roofers. And now I could do this for my business. And so today I went through a process of turning this into an actual storyboard. And so what you first need to know is that, and I'll put this in the comments, is that if you guys want this thing, right, you can come into RoofClaw, Meta Ads Agent, and you can point your RoofClaw at this link that I'll post as a comment. You can point your agent at this. It's going to get better. It's going to get better as we go. But this is the thing that I've always wanted to create. And so to generate this, I've been putting all this together for you guys. So the best part is it's very, 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 very simple to actually connect your RoofClaw to to Facebook Meta Ads. I want to show you the exact sequence that I went through today. All of it's in the GitHub repo, so you don't have to figure it out like I did. You literally just have to plug it in and say, walk me through it. And there's a file in there called Launchpad, and it will walk you through it. And so I talk to my RoofClaws through Telegram, right? And so you can see way up here, right? See, that was where I ran into the rate limit. And so if I come all the way up here, right, I said, hey, I want to connect. I said I was going to be doing this demo today. And so I pulled the blog, got everything in, and okay, so we made a decision. Are we going to go through the MCP or go through the CLI? The CLI has more power than the MCP. And so I said, hey, we're going to probably do this with Vito on a demo tonight. So I want to make sure I don't look like an asshat, right? And work out all the kinks. And so we tested the MCP. And so if I go over here and I show you guys you're going to go, if you want to kind of follow along or get at least the process started, you can go up here, and I'm going to go to Chrome tab. We'll go to this one. Okay. So this is where I hit the rate limit. So you go to developers.facebook.com. Okay. So you're going to go to developers.facebook.com, and you're going to go into My Apps. And then when you get into My Apps, and I got to make sure I don't cook myself here, but you're going to create an app. So you go through this process of it's very, very straightforward. You get in here, you go to create an app. You're going to go in here, you're going to make a name. So I'll say Vito RoofClaw. Okay. And then you're going to tell your use cases. The crazy thing is look at everything it has. Create and manage ads with the marketing API. Yep, want to do that. Measure ad performance data with the marketing API. Absolutely. Capture and manage ad leads with the marketing API. Yep. Create and manage app ads. Well, I don't really run an app, so that's okay. Access the Threads API. That's Meta's equivalent of like X.com. Don't really care. Advertise your app. Okay, don't really need to do that. I don't need to request or authenticate people. I don't make a game. Manage products with the catalog. I mean, I guess I could maybe put Roofclaw into the catalog. People could buy that. Engage with customers on Meta from Messenger from Meta. So yes, my Roofclaw, I can create a subversion rule set. I can basically say, hey, when you're communicating through this channel, the Messenger, that is to customers. So don't talk about my personal shit, right? This is what's possible. And then I don't really have a lot of fundraisers. Manage messaging content on Instagram. Absolutely. Access the live video API. Yep. If you're a roofer and you're not recording Facebook Lives, you're crazy. Put your hands up if you record lives for your roofing company. Super, super valuable. Embed Facebook, Instagram, and Threads content in other websites. I mean, maybe, I don't think so. Manage everything on your page. Yep. Right. Connect with customers through WhatsApp. I'm not in Mexico. Don't need to do that. So then you just click next. All right. And then you can link it to a business. So I've already done the business verification over here on my business. So then you click next. And then there's no requirements identified because I've already verified. If I go previous and I say something like this roofing company, if I go next, and then maybe next, I actually don't know. It's probably going to have to give me some. I probably shouldn't do this. This is a roofing company that I used to run ads for way back in the day. But then you connect it. And then what's going to happen then is you're going to have an app. So once you have your app in the system, right, then it'll look like this. It'll be in a demonstrator mode. So it'll be unpublished. You're going to have to give it your privacy page URL, and you might need to use ChatGPT to edit your privacy page to match the requirements, to basically say if people request for you to delete their information, you will delete their information. And you have to have a place and a way to do that. You probably already have a privacy page if you've ever ran Facebook ads before. So, because it requires it there. So if you go to your roofingcompany.com domain and ask for a, what is it? You go your roofingcompany.com/privacy. That's usually where it is. You're going to put your privacy statement in there, and then you're going to hit publish. Okay. And so it'll ask you to go through the process. You're just going to have to follow. Again, if you have a Roofclaw, it'll walk you through this. Right? It'll walk you through the process. And so then you're just going to go through the screens and talk to it. And my GitHub repo that I posted for you, it will walk you through it, right? It'll walk you through this whole process. So this is not the part that I want to spend a whole bunch of time sharing, because it's literally just setup, right? And we don't need what we call setup porn. I actually want to talk about why you would do this, okay? All right. If you're here and you're late with me, you know I like the Zonic or the Zin. So Zin and lock in, because we are going to walk into the storyboard and Super Bowl ad creation process. So rock with me. All right. So when you guys are creating ads, the reason that AI videos suck is because AI video is like plastic surgery. Okay. You only notice it when it's bad. AI video is like plastic surgery. You only notice it when it's bad. When it's good, you don't know the difference. There's a guy that's named Matthew Berman. He sends me an email like every other day, his newsletter. And in that email, he has a picture or a video and he says, is this AI? And you watch it or look at it and then you click a button, AI or real. And then every day he sends you whether it was real or AI. And it's like down to 80% of the time people guess wrong. And so AI video and AI in general is like plastic surgery. You only notice it when it's bad. So the goal is, how do you be good? Right? Well, like anything, like roofing, the magic is in the preparation. Okay. And so in that GitHub repo where you guys can point your Roofclaw. If you don't have a Roofclaw, go to roofclaw.com, buy it. We build the best OpenClaw instances for roofers. We will train you how to do it. It's safe, secure, shipped to your door, trained on your business. And then we spend hours with you training it, and we support you. And we even build a little mechanic agent into it so that when it breaks, it's fixable. But in here, so again, you can see here, walk me through the process, right? And here's a little secret tip. When you're working with agents and you want to send passwords, use passwordpusher.com. Again, not an affiliate, not related, don't get any money. pwpush.com, it's free to use. but you can send secure tokens to your agents. And then it walked me through and we tested the API. And so I put all the API endpoints in there so you understand what's all possible and what's not possible if you go through the MCP. And so it tested a creative upload. We ran into a flaw. That's where we went and fixed it. And so it's published, and now we have full chain complete. So then we tested it out again. And I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to show you guys today. All right, is how to come up with a story for an ad, write the storyboard, generate the images for the storyboard, turn the images into a video, tune up the video, post the video to a Facebook page, and run an ad from the video posted. And so this is going to take a while, and I'm going to walk you guys through the process so you guys can quit and come back and watch this later. But I want to walk you guys through the process. So I've gone through all of this, got it all posted, okay? And then we tested this out, and now we're at the stage of all I've done is with my other roof claw, Vito, right? Vito Claudione. He's the Claude father. He's the one who helps me sell, manage, build the roof claw side of the business. We have generated a story. We've generated a storyboard, which I have now on my desktop, and we're going to give that to Claudio, who is the one who's actually connected to the MCP. So I want to walk you guys through this. Which is better? Is it this view? Is it this view? What's better? Let me know in the chat. Is that one better? I don't know. Maybe this one. All right. So going in here, we're going to say, okay, we're going to make the Super Bowl ad. So he's committed this new skill. And now we're going to go. Oh, wait, did he commit it? Push. Someone probably auto something to get up. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go /new to create a new session. Okay. So wiping its brain. The crazy thing about about AI is that you don't have to be a good leader. You have to be a good trainer. You don't have to be a good leader. You have to be a good trainer. It's the perfect employee. You can talk to it for 2 minutes or 2 hours. You can talk to it at 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, and you can tell it to do something twice and it doesn't cry. But you have to know how to train it. And it's like a roof claw is essentially, it has a soul.markdown file that teaches it who it is. It has a identity.markdown file, which gives its name. It's got a users.md file. So it knows you and knows your team, knows who's allowed to use it, to what degree they can share with it. And then you're going to have things like your tools.md file, which tells it what tools it has access to. And so we made sure that before I quit that last session that we committed Higgsfield and meta ads and this GitHub repo so that it understood what it is, because it's got a 200 IQ, but it wakes up every day with amnesia. So we started a new session. I'm going to go think, because I want to make sure I set a high thinking style. We're going to set adaptive. We're going to say it can adapt to thinking. We're probably going to burn some serious amount of tokens tonight. Now, we're going to make sure which model are we on. So we're going to say which model, okay? And we're probably going to say, okay, we're on Opus. That's good. So we're going to stay there. So I got Opus 4.7. I got adaptive thinking. So we're going to tell it what it's going to do. I like to talk because who likes to type anymore? So I'm going to use my whisper flow to do that. All right. So last session, we worked on the meta ads agent framework for RoofClaw. And I had Vito develop a storyboard that I want to send to you. I'm also going to send to you the Higgsfield creative process research that I put together. And you also saved a transcript from a video. The whole goal for you is going to be that I want you to use the MCP to start the storyboard creation process and actually start to design in accordance with the Higgsfield best practices and walk me through creating a video for our customers, which is called Quiet the Doubters, an Ode to the Roofer. This is a video I've wanted to make since 2023, and you were doing this live on a demo in front of our customers, our friends, and prospects. So don't, well, not that I tell you to not make mistakes. I'm gonna delete that part. Friends and prospects. All right, so now I'm gonna say, okay, here we're gonna give it some files. So again, this thing is sitting on a MacBook, a Mac Mini over here. I have a Mac Air, which is Vito's machine. I have a Mac Mini, which is Claudio's machine. And if you see behind me, there's a whole bunch of laptops and stuff like that behind me because we're in my home office and I build a ton of these for people. So I'm going to give the Ode to the Roofer storyboard, and I'm going to give the from turning your video into a visual ad. Okay. And so we're going to give it this, and we're going to give it Higgsfield best practices. All right. So I'm going to let it research these documents. These are all in Markdown files. So you'll notice I use Markdown. Why not PDF? The reason I don't use PDF is because a PDF consumes 40x the tokens of a Markdown file. So that if you only have, say, 200,000 or a million token context limit, well, all of your pre-configuration files, all your conversation, all the reasoning that you're going to do to work through it, you don't want to burn through that, making it read a PDF when it doesn't need a PDF to understand the content. It doesn't need your paragraph structure. It doesn't need your fancy formatting. It just needs the words. A hashtag tells it's a headline. Okay, so now I know we have a heading. 2 hashtags is a subheading. It knows it has a subheading. It can understand the paragraph structure with 1 character instead of a bunch of fancy designs. So we use markdown files instead of PDF. That's your writer downer of the day. All right, so I'm going to talk to a little bit more. I've attached 3 files, an Ode to the Roofer, the storyboard. That's what Vito came up with. I've also got the from Super Bowl ad creation process to the Higgsfield creative process. I've got that file in there to walk you through how we should process this with Higgsfield. You and I have never done this before, so you're going to have to walk me through it. And then I also have the Higgsfield best practices markdown file, which should give you an idea as to how you are going to use the MCP. I would like to use CDance for the video. I give you the creative freedom to use whatever you want for images. Follow the best practices from the transcript of the YouTube video I gave you before, and come up with a plan and show that plan to me here so that we can show it to our audience. All right, so now we're going to let it work. So while we're waiting for that to produce, walk me, say hello. Let me know where you're coming from. I see Jack here in the chat. Jack, it's good to see you. Jason, I love having you here, man. It was good chatting with you earlier. This is a lot of the prototyping of agents that goes into a much bigger project that I'm working on. And that's why I give this stuff away for free. I want people out there to use it. I don't want to gatekeep this stuff. I want you guys to be able to learn. I want to know who my people are. And so I encourage you guys to comment and engage and be a part of this stream, because that's the only reason you do a live stream, right? You do a live stream so the audience can be a part of it. And so I want to know who's here. I see your names in the chat, or see your faces, see your eyeballs. Would love to know who you are, where you're coming from, and what questions you guys might have. And so while we're letting this thing pound out, it's basically, we'll communicate with what we got. So what do we got at producing here? So the plan, Adam, ready for stream. Here's how we walk the audience through this. We're not going to produce all 15 panels of Vito storyboard live. That's a 3-minute hero film. Whoa. 25 generations, $60 in credit, hours of rendering time. I don't give a shit. Like, burn the tokens, okay? I am all about burning tokens, okay? I measure my self-worth in tokens burned per day. We're going to get something better for a live demo. Prove the pipeline end-to-end on the most important single beat in the film. The live demo plan and Ode to the Roofer. What we will actually ship tonight. Okay, so Claudio is telling me what we're doing. What will actually, the mirror shot, panel 1, opening image, lonely truck pre-dawn. So maybe it would help you guys if you guys could actually see, like, what does the input for that look like? What did the input for that look like? So what's the best way to show you guys that? Probably an anti-gravity. Actually, it's a good lesson on markdown. It's a good lesson on markdown if we do it that way. So I'll stop screen sharing, and I'm going to go an Ode to the Roofer storyboard, show in Finder. And so again, this was done with the help of AI. So we're going to go over here, max out screen over there, and we're going to go share screen. All right, window, bang, bang, bang. Okay, so markdown. This is markdown, everybody. So markdown is 40x less tokens for your AI to consume. Yes, you won't like reading this way. Like, you're not going to enjoy reading this kind of text. But what is markdown? Markdown is a 25-year-old alternative to Microsoft Word, okay? Before we had visual computers, when computers looked like this, like when you looked at a computer and it looked like this on a screen, well, back then you didn't have you couldn't see formatting on your screen. Like, there wasn't a word processor with formatting and fonts and italics and bold and all that kind of stuff. So you wrote a document like this little hashtag right here, okay? Up here, okay, this little hashtag, that there was saying this is a headline 1, 2 hashtags, headline 3, or 2, this headline 3. Then this meant it was bold. And like when you put a bracket, like a, what else, a up and down line, a vertical line here, this meant like it was a table. So if I click right-click preview, this is what happened on the printer. The printer did this conversion for you. And this is why it consumes 40 times less tokens. Matt, it's good. Yes, Whisper Flow for the win. I absolutely love. Matt, you and I got to get talking about cap out and how we can connect roof claw to cap out. That should be the next skill that we put into GitHub, is the official roof claw cap out skill. We got to get that booked. In fact, Matt, I'm going to, while you guys are looking at this, I need to send me a message on Facebook. We got to, I got a DM, because I'm going to send you a calendar link. We got to work this out. We got to get together to build the official roofer cap out skill. Go ahead and throw a link to cap out in the chat. Let people know what that is. We are going to build the best integration to roof claw and cap out to save you guys time. So Matt, tell people what that is in the chat and throw a link to cap out in there. All right. So this was help designed by AI. So I took that document, that one that I wrote in 2023, and I did a research on Perplexity, and I said, hey, what is the Super Bowl ad creation ideation process? And then I took that, gave it to Claudio or Vito. I took it to Vito. I said, hey, here's the Super Bowl ad creation process. You know Roof Claw. You know this business. I want you to position Roof Claw in as the guide, thinking about the story beats, right? As the guide that helps the hero, which is the roofer, and shows through this video, like a Super Bowl ad, that that Roof Claw can be their guide to help them with a plan to get them away from their pain and towards success. And so it used the Super Bowl ad creation process to write this. And so it broke it down into like literally second by second beats, right? So it had a full storyboard, and now we have to turn this into the visuals. So that's what we're doing here today. And so when I come back over here to Claudio, that's what we're working on. So I go share screen and come back, and we're going to go back to Telegram. We'll keep it going. So it's going to go, okay, 6-step live walkthrough, what the audience watches us do. Step 1, the translation, 5-minute walkthrough, show video storyboard on screen. Hey, I already did that. Step 2, cast Marcus, character lock, per Higgsfield best practices. You lock the character before we lock the shot. Use Nano Banana 2 to generate a 4-angle character reference sheet from Marcus. So this is how we get character consistency. It's going to make it so that we have a character that has been viewed from all sides. So then when video tries to generate the character, we get consistent characters throughout it. Because again, remember, AI video is like plastic surgery. You only notice it when it's bad. All right. We all know what we're talking about when we say that. So we're going to cast Marcus. Then we're going to generate the hero frame. Okay. So I'm going to say here. All right. So, all right. I've explained to the audience the Ode to the Roofer storyboard. And now I want you to start on our next step, which is going to be casting Marcus. And I want you to send me the images so that the team can see, or that everybody here on the video can see the images that you generate. Okay. So again, this is the prep. This is the upfront. All right. This is the upfront. Matt, I got your message. I got your Calendly link right on. Jam out. So we want to cast our character because it's all in the preparation. If we get the characters developed up front where you can see it like this, and then you can see it like this, and then you can see it like this and like this, right? And you get the zoom in shot and you get the eye color, well, then we can start to make it so we understand. We can create a JSON. JSON is just a language that computers talk. But we can generate a JSON representative example of what Marcus looks like. And his character traits, he's got a, like if you're doing me, you'd say he's got a crooked tooth. You'd say he got a big nose. You'd say he's got beautiful eyes. You'd say he has a poorly grown beard, right? But he's still ruggedly handsome in a very Canadian kind of way. That would be the JSON of Adam Sand turned into it. You'd say he's got a hat from a church and it says Courage Crew on it, right? Like that would be the JSON representation, right, of the Adam Sand character. So that way, as you generate successive videos, you get the same character. And I have done all this kind of stuff in VO3 and Google Flow. I've done some of this stuff before, but it's always been like me in the screen. It's like, what do I mean by in the screen? Because you can use, again, Higgsfield directly from the actual screen itself, right? Like you can go into Higgsfield and you can click around in here and you'd be like, okay, I want to create an image, right? And you can come in here and you can create the image and it'll design it, right? But then you would go over here to video and you'd go like image, you'd add your image to it and you turn it into a video. You could use this software, but who likes software anymore? The whole idea is how can we make it so that we can work from one screen? Because here's the magic of what's going to happen after this is as I go, I'm going to document these as repeatable skills. And then I can combine those repeatable skills into a directive, which then can repeat each skill. And I'm going to try and make it token efficient, try and create Python scripts to make it repeatable and duplicatable and work out the bugs. I'm going to upload it to GitHub so you guys have access to it too. But then you can be like, hey, here's a storyboard. I want you to create this video. And this is the beauty of RoofClaw, is you have the heartbeat.md file, which means that on a chronological trigger, you could say, hey, every day, I want you to create a video. And then you could upload a storyboard every day, and then it'll keep its heartbeat going every 30 minutes. So you don't have to sit here and support it. It will just keep working through it and keep itself awake. And it will keep working through the steps of the directive to accomplish all the steps in the skill. And you have a single input. That's the whole magic of it. It's like an N8N workflow that keeps itself alive. But along the way, it's using its 200 IQ to make good decisions. And so, and again, this is not a shill for Higgsfield. I'm not sponsored. I know there's a lot of guys like that on the internet, but we have our character. We have Marcus. Okay, so we have Marcus here. He's a handsome looking fella. Okay, and now we have him from all angles. So we have consistency. We understand he's got these rugged boots. We know his color of his jeans. We understand his face from multiple angles. We understand how his neck wrinkles when it curls. We have a picture for his hair. So we should be able to get character consistency. All right. Now, if I go into Higgsfield, I can probably find it in there, and I can probably see like, okay, because it is actually in, again, who wants to use software these days? So if I come in here, image, do I have character? No, I don't even know where it puts it in here. Character in here? No, I don't even know where it put it in this thing. If I go marketing studio, so put it in here. Nope. I don't even know where it is in the software. That's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing, is you don't even know where it is. It's in the software. You're using the power of the software, and it's doing it all for me. Is this it here? Okay, so I found it in all assets. Perfect. And so you can see here, professional character reference sheet, 4 angles in 1 image. So now it's saved this, and now I could click animate here, and I could go forward, but I don't want to use the software. I just want to work with my teammate and actually build out my skill, so I don't have to do this kind of stuff all the time. I can just work with it to say, I'm going to build this into my agent so I can work with my RoofClaw, and I can always do this over and over again. So we'll jump back over to Telegram. Who's digging this? You guys learning something today? All right, so job submitted, waiting for completion. So what did it say was step 2? Okay, so we've cast Marcus. All right, so Jeremy Renner energy work jacket. The sheet comes with our consistency anchor. That requires 20 to 30 real photos and 10 minutes of training. We'll fake it cleanly with the reference sheet. I don't want to fake it cleanly. I want to do it the right way. I want to do everything the way we're supposed to be doing it. So if you're saying you need 20 to 30 shots of Marcus, then we should do that. So however you need to do that, if you need to work through multiple rounds of this, if you need to spin up like 4 sub agents to go and create 4 times 4 would be 16. So if you need like 4 agents that generate another casting of 4, so you can get like the zoom in, the eye color, action shots, whatever you need to do to generate our character reference sheet and get these pictures, do that now. I don't want to fake it cleanly. I want to do it right, because we're doing this live in front of people, and we want to teach the best practices. We're not doing one of those YouTube videos where we fake it and then people walk away with the half-baked process. I got all kinds of time. Let's do it the right way. All right, so we're going to let that go on. So what do we got here in the chat? Jack, are you still around? I'm curious who's still here. We got some likes. And again, I'm not a live streamer. That's why I do it at 9 o'clock at night. I fully expect this to suck. So I'm doing this because I actually want this project. Like, for me, I'm just doing this, and I'm bringing you guys along for the ride. The only thing you guys are doing is like not letting me play my music. And if you guys all end up dropping off, I'm just going to jam out to music on here, and I'm going to finish this project because I'm excited about it. So if I come back over to my assets, I'm just going to check on the other screen to see if it's generating more. It hasn't come through yet, but I'm going to get better at switching the screens. And so here, share screen, come up here. There we go. Oh, I'm getting some comments back. Come in here. So like, this is just the test project that I did earlier. I was just like, hey, can you generate some images? And so I just want to make sure the MCP worked. And so it looks like we have Jack Reacher up on the roof here, ready to beat up his neighbor. And it said that the See, the one thing I want to make sure we do is that when we train our AI to do this, I'm going to have to train this guy on, we don't use claw hammers on roofs. That's the thing. I want to make sure that it gets into our skill, that when Roof Claw generates videos, it doesn't generate videos with claw hammers or hard hats or any of the other common tells of AI video. That's something I promise. I'm going to train into this skill before we're done tonight. All right, so coming over here. Did you generate the photos from different angles? Yes. So it is generating them from different angles. So you'll see here, Jack, that when I said, hey, I want you to cast Marcus, it used the Higgsfield best practices skill, right? So I gave it two primary skills already. One skill was Higgsfield best practices. So it understands all the endpoints that exist on the MCP, Model Context Protocol. That's your trick here, is that Higgsfield has an MCP that you can connect to OpenClaw. And so you can say, hey, go connect to the MCP. And then I did a research project and gave it all the best practices. So I said, hey, let's take all of these YouTubers that are talking about how to use Higgsfield, took all these blogs and people who are selling info products and have downloadable freebies, and I shoved that all into my research project with RoofClaw. And I said, hey, turn this into a Higgsfield best practices thing. Take all the best stuff and put this into a mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive document of all the best practices for Higgsfield. And I gave that to it as a skill. And then I said, hey, there is an ideation process. Like, why are Super Bowl ads so good? Why are they so good? Right? Like, why is that? And so I said, well, I wanted to say, what is it that makes them good? Is that there's probably an ideation process. There's probably an upfront preparation process where they put a bunch of creative people in a room and come up with an idea. Now, I had an idea. I wanted my ode to the roofer, right? Like, I wanted that to be my video. So I had a bit of ideation already done. And then I said, okay, now how do you turn that idea into something that has all the emotional hooks, has all the bits of the story, that would actually take it and turn it into an actual Super Bowl storyline with all the kind of setting the mood and what are the facial expressions. I turned that into the storyboard, and then I gave it another skill, which is how do you turn the story into the visuals. And so that's where it said, hey, the first thing we need to do is casting, right? Hollywood or a Super Bowl level ad, we need to cast a great character. And so this is a casting a good character. So you said, I want to try it with a real person. Would it work? Yes, absolutely would work. That is one of the very common use cases of Higgsfield is digital clones. A lot of people do that. So people do this all the time, whereas probably like AI influencer, there's something in here I've seen. Again, I haven't used this. That's what I love about MCPs, is that I can use stuff to say like, I don't want to actually, how do you say it? I don't want to have to I don't want to have to learn a whole software every time I want to do something. I just want the AI to use the MCP, take the front end user interface out of it. I don't want to use the front end interface. I want to just have it. And so when you have a character swap, face swap, AI styles, find your perfect look, like in here, you can generate your aesthetic. You can create you or you or someone else. So you can choose your character, or you can take a real person and essentially create a digital clone of that person. The same thing as like HeyGen. HeyGen allows you to do that too. But this thing goes even further to say you could also have an influencer that's a crocodile if you wanted to. And so it really is, the limit is your own creativity and the preparation that you do. All right, so we're going to go back over to our assets and see what it's put together. Still hasn't put more together. So let's see what our roof claw is saying. All right, so we're going to go here, stop screen. We're going to pop back over and see what roof claw's got to say. All right, so what do we got here? So right call, doing it properly. Sole ID is the best practice from Higgsfield's own docs. 20 to 30 reference images, varied angles, expressions, lighting, and context, same character throughout. The more variety in the training set, the better Marcus generalizes when we drop him into truck cabs, kitchen tables, rooftops, and golden hour resolutions. The plan, 28 reference images. Okay, so it's got studio identity locks, tight headshots, profiles, medium, full body, neutral backdrop, soft cinema light. This is the spine. Real world context, truck cab, rooftop, kitchen table, front door, ladder, drive-through. Different environments, same Marcus. Expression study, tired but warm, determined, quiet relief, focused thought, worn out, calm. Soul ID needs the emotional range to map to Vito's storyboard beats. Lighting variations, golden hour, overcast, harsh midday, low key interior, cold pre dawn, warm phone screen glow. The lighting arc of the entire film. Cost 6 credits each, times 28, 168 credits. We have 2,994. Time, I'll submit in waves of 6 in parallel. So it is spun out 6 parallel ages. Hey, there we go. We got Marcus's modeling shots. All right, we are moving and shaking, guys. Who's digging this? This is awesome. All right, so we've got A1 hedges. So see how it creates a naming convention. So we understand that we have character A1, we have a character named Marcus, and we've got process A, B, and C, and D. And so we are generating all of these different expressions. So we know now what Marcus looks like. We're getting different environments. We're getting all these kinds of different kind of scenes. And so this is all about Marcus. In fact, if this truck cab doesn't look great, that doesn't matter. What matters is that we're capturing and we're doing an iterative process. So yes, no, Marcus is probably not going to climb a ladder like this, but it's not focused on that. It's focused on trying to get consistency in our character, Marcus, right? And so we're just trying to get a lot of consistency there. Okay, so Marcus, fully cast, 28 references, 0 failures, $1.70 in credits, 6 minutes, wall clock, the contact sheet for the audience. All right, so this is what you guys are here. So it's basically what the audience just learned. This is professional AI casting looks like. Not type prompt, get character. It's a deliberate training set. Same identity, varied conditions, designed to teach the model who Marcus is so it can be placed, so he can kind of be placed anywhere. So now I got to approve the cast. So I'm going to say, okay, we're going to approve the cast. We're going to generate any specific images. No, I think we're going to go good. So we're going to go 1, approve the cast. Great job. Always say thank you because this thing's going to have a body soon. All right, who's digging this? Are you guys enjoying this? Is this helping you guys? All right, so we've got now here we got to upload the 28 images to Higgsfield Soul ID, 10 minutes train time, free with the team plan. So Soul ID, where is that? Image, Higgsfield Soul 2.0. Designed for creative fashion forward results, now available Soul Hex. Again, I don't know what the heck this is. Oh, this is Soul, designed for creative. What is that? Assets, Cinema Studio, mark character, Soul ID character, create a character. Okay, so I don't know if we can do this, if it can go Higgsfield AI character upload. So we're going to ask it. Cast approved. Onward to Soul ID training. Let me first verify what character training endpoints the MCP actually exposes. The Soul ID training might be web UI only, or it might be wired through media upload. Okay, so I might have to use the UI for something. That's what it's telling me. I might have to use the user interface for something, but I can do that. It doesn't matter. Hey, we're going to put Matt's stuff up on the screen here. Matt, there you go. Cap out. Okay, so important finding to be transparent to the audience about. Higgsfield MCP doesn't expose Soul ID training directly. The formal training character step is currently a web UI only action. So we have 2 pro grade paths. Path A, the cleanest. Upload all 28 images into Higgsfield's workspace via media upload. And then he clicks train Soul ID. Okay, path B, the working pro alternative. What most production teams actually use, multi-image inference time onboarding. Pick the 4 to 6 strongest anchors. For the live demo, I'll do both. Upload to the workspace, so Adam can train Soul ID later if he wants, and select the top 6 anchors for tonight's shot. We're going to do it the best way. So it uploaded them all to where? Upload all to the work. So into the Adam's Higgsfield workspace via media upload. Then he clicks train Soul ID. Okay, so we're going to go back over to Higgsfield, and we're going to do this together. So we're going to go here, present, share screen. So we have it in assets, maybe not yet. Not in my folder, all assets. You said you uploaded all those individual images into the, where is it here? Into the workspace via media upload. So workspace, where is workspace on here? Nope, and open up a new tab. Where's here? Canvas, explore, workspace. See, that's why I hate using software. So you're gonna learn so many new softwares. Not in here. Not in here. What is this? Photo dump? What's that? Generate any aesthetic? No. Edit. Workspace. Canvas. Audio, collab, video. Again, I'm figuring this out with you guys. Image. Is there something in here that says workspace? You guys see it? Doing the upload now. Okay, so it's saying it's doing the upload now. All right, let's go back to the chat. So I'm just watching my Telegram over here. Claudio here is uploading it to the media library. Says it should take about 30 seconds. And so that's why I want you guys to help me out in the chat and keep me going here, because I would love to see what you guys are interested in, what you're learning. What is the video that you would like to create? Have you ever watched an ad where you were just like, man, I would love to make that ad, or we need that ad? What do we got? What do we got? Give us 3 seconds. Let's hop over to assets again. I think that's where it uploads them, is into assets, but it hasn't done it yet. What's this do? Whoop. Whoop. Ah, cool. Makes it bigger. Okay, so all right, I'm going to show you guys what I got back from Roofclaw here. This is the coolest thing about it, is like it makes everything so much easier. Life is easier with a Roofclaw, guys. That's just what I can tell you. It's worth the money. All right. So for the audience, the pro pipeline is 2-stage. First, you generate the training set, then you upload them to your character training system. Not just a series of one-off prompts. This is how agencies build brand films at scale. Once the cast is locked, you can produce dozens of scenes in a day without identity shift. So roll into step 3 now. So what we got here? So he uploaded 20 to 28. Look at Higgsfield. You'll see them in your media library. Go to Soul ID character training. Select all 8 images, 28 images. Okay. So let's see if that's the case. So share screen. Hop in Higgsfield. So is it in here? It's not in here. So we go to, oh, there we go. We're in here. So we have all of our assets in here. Now we go to Soul ID character, right? That's just it. Soul ID training is now possible. Soul ID character training. All right, create character, upload. Okay. But I don't want to do it from upload. How do we do it? Upload, avoid duplicates. Maybe I do it from assets. Oh, I got download and upload. That's dumb. That's stupid. All right, let's make this small. All right, Mark. So we still got to do some clicking around. This is the process, right? We're gonna, once we have our character though, because I'll be able to cast Marcus again anytime I want, I just have to go through the process of downloading him first, right? I'm thinking for Mother's Day, I should send my wife a video card from Marcus. He's just way more handsome than me. All right, so we're gonna go download. It's gonna zip it all up. We're going to unzip it. We're going to put it in, and then we're going to upload a Soul ID. Now, the MCP for Higgsfield like literally just dropped yesterday. So why is this happening? There's kind of a cool story as to like why this is happening. So Facebook bought a company called Manus, which is like a super agent, and that was a Chinese company, and they bought it. And then what they did is, because the United States doesn't really want like Facebook, a giant gajillion-dollar company, to have all of their stuff sitting in a Chinese like headquartered company. So they moved it to Singapore, and then all the Manus employees moved to Singapore, and they treat that like, and China treats that like Canada does. Like Canada doesn't love it when all of our smartest people move to the United States. That's like the thing that they complain about. And so they don't like that. So they call it like a brain drain. So they had brain drain to Singapore. So China canceled the deal, $60 billion deal. They canceled the deal and said, hey, Facebook, we're going to unwind that deal. You can't buy Manus. So Facebook said, well, fine, then we're going to make our advertising API available to everybody with all kinds of things, which has just happened today. And so now anybody with any agent can access the Meta Ads API, or you could just write your own workflows in N8N or something like that. And so we're going to go and say Marcus. And then we're going to use Soul 2.0 or Soul Cinema. What does it want us to do? So go to Soul, Study Character Training. Okay, so I'm going to stay here. Before I go forward, should I use Soul 2.0 or Soul Cinema? Which one is the newer version? You can probably tell by picking the credits. If I go Soul Cinema, is it more credits? No, same credits. If I go Soul 1.0, it's 30 credits. Soul 2.0 is more. So I'm getting Claudio to do some research for me to find out if I should use Soul 2.0 or Soul Cinema. Now it says it could use up to 80 images for training Marcus, up to 80. So I'm still not doing it the best that I could be doing it. But again, we're trying to take you guys along for the journey. So hopefully we're going to get a good result. But good is all I got for 28 out of this. So we're going to see what we do here. I'm just waiting for Claudio to tell me how it's going. So for those of you in the room, if you just joined, thank you for joining. Do the like and subscribe thing. It helps me out. It makes me want to do lives at a time other than 9 o'clock at night, Pacific Standard Time. Because if you guys dig this stuff, then I will do it more early during the day. But this is me working through something I want to do. If you just joined, I'm working on making a Super Bowl ad using Roof Claw, and we are going to turn it into a video, and then we are going to put it live on Facebook as an ad. And we're essentially going to go through the video ad creation process to actually just automate marketing. And the first time is the hardest time. I've never done this before. I'm just doing this based on my experience with AI and walking you guys through the journey. So, all right. So bonus. So what did it sound here? So it said, to be honest, Soul 2.0 is the newer numbered version, but they're not competing versions of the same thing. They're sibling models with different jobs. Here's what Higgsfield catalog says. Higgsfield Soul 2.0 is realistic UGC, fashion, editorial, and character generation. Soul Cinematic is cinema grade stills and concept art. The version question, Soul 2.0 explicitly carries the V2 tag. Soul Cinema doesn't carry a version number. It's different product specialization, not an older Soul. Think of it like Final Cut Pro versus DaVinci Resolve. My recommendation is for the Ode to the Roofer demo, the Pro Move. Use both, picked by shot type. All right. Bonus catch. I noticed Cinematic Studio 2.5 is also in the catalog. That was the model we used for V1, V2 in our last session. It's specifically tuned for cinematic stills up to 4K. It's actually a stronger pick than Soul Cinema for a hero. So use Cinematic Studio 2.5 at 2K. Well, I don't have that one. So I'm assuming that that's something that's coming soon. So given that Soul 2.0 is at the top, we're going to do that, and we're going to follow its advice, and we're also going to do that as well. We're going to try both. Why not? Let's burn the credits, right? Our self-worth is measured in the tokens that we use every day. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to go Marcus Cinema. And that way we can see the difference, right? I crawl so you guys can run. All right. So we're going to create Marcus and Marcus Cinema. All right, so now we're going to go back up to our plan. So step 1, step 2, we've cast Marcus. Step 3, generate hero frame. The opening image, Cinematic Studio 2.5 2K. Prompt locks in the 5 layers from the dock. White pickup, dump trailer, emotion. Okay, so. All right, so both of the models are training right now. So I have Marcus, which is trained on Soul 2.0, and then I have Marcus-Cinema, which is trained on Soul Cinematic. There was no Soul Cinematic 2.5, or at least that's not how it was versioned or displayed in the user interface. I think that Cinematic Studio 2.5 is probably for generating images and not making Soul ID characters. We'll figure it out. I got 2 versions. We just got to wait for it to train it. They're both in queue. So walk me through, for the audience, what we're going to do at step 3 for the hero frame 1, and make sure if we need Marcus to be done training, that we can provide the audience with some value in the meantime. All right, so coming back to you guys. So I just sent that over. All right, I got you guys here in the chat. Let me know what's going on. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys seeing? What do you guys want to know? All right, we are 2% complete with Marcus, and he is in queue. So we are training this. I'm going to switch back over to Claudio. I wonder, is there a way to, no, there's only, Can I do extra camera? Probably not. That's like an extra camera. It'd be cool if I could have two screens loaded up sharing so I didn't have to kind of bounce between both of these. All right, so smart caption, the cinematic 2.5 thing, blah, 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 even better. Step 3 doesn't actually require Marcus. Panel 1 is a wide environmental establisher, no face in frame. We can execute it now in front of the audience while both Soul IDs train the background. That's the move. So what we're making, all right, so what are we doing next, right? We're trying to make a Super Bowl ad, right? So we got to follow the Super Bowl ad framework, because if you guys are making videos for your roofing company, you got a couple choices. You can do a drone shot of a video, which is shitty, or you can generate Facebook Lives, which is your best. You can make another reel with pop, 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 teleprompter along the bottom, and just try and do your retention editing where you zoom in and you zoom out and you zoom in and you zoom out, right? Or you can make something cinematic. You can make something that tells a story. If you can make people laugh or cry, you can convey something to an audience. So that's the whole idea here. So the first scene we're doing is a 6-second scene. Drone descends towards a single white pickup and dump trailer on an empty strip mall parking lot. Pre-dawn, 5:47 a.m., fog on the pavement. The interior cab light is on. The whole world is asleep except for whoever's in that truck. So that's the scene. That's not the image generation prompt. Why this is the most important frame in the entire film. This is the emotional contract with the viewer. Before they hear a word, before Marcus has a name, they recognize themselves in that lonely truck. This is you guys, right? And if this frame fails, nothing else matters. Video storyboard literally calls this out. We identify with whoever is in that truck before you've ever even seen their face, right? This tells a roofer this is for you. So the directional translation, storyboard, 5-layer prompt. Okay, so it's giving, so this is the idea, the 5-layer prompt. So these tables don't format nicely on here because you can't like slide this over, but subject, anchor, white pickup truck, it's basically creating a table, and it's going to create this prompt for us. And panel 1 is cooking 25 to 45 seconds. So what I want to do is I want to share with you guys a video, okay, that demonstrates my point of what you guys want. So we're going to go to all right. We're going to show you guys the video. And you guys are going to see what I mean when I say you got to make people laugh and cry. All right. So we're going to stop screen. You guys got 2 minutes. Of course, you got 2 minutes. You're hanging out with me. Also share tab audio. All right. We're going to do this. Zen and lock in. You're going to cry, boys. By the way, what do you see down here? HubSpot chatbot, baby. All right, so imagine you as a roofing company and you set that. Okay, you send that when you as a thank you video when somebody signs a roofing job, and you send it again after they're done, right? After they get back. Tell me, tell me that you have not hooked them emotionally. Tell me you have not made yourself memorable. For the record, I know that roofing company and they make hay. So they do. And that's the point. Is that you want to make your customer fall in love with you. All right. You want to make your customer fall in love with you. And so I want to make roofers fall in love with me by feeling understood. And so that's why we're making the ode to the roofer. So what we're here now is like while we're generating this frame, right? Two character models and training Marcus' identity. Here's what's happening under the hood. Because this is the magic that lets Hollywood grade AI ad production actually scale. Soul ID is taking the 28 reference images that we just curated and learning what makes Marcus Marcus, not just his face, but his facial geometry, his build, his wardrobe, his family, his energy. The model is essentially building a mathematical signature of the identity that survives any environment, lighting condition, or camera angle that we throw at it. And why this matters is because without this step, every shot in the film generates a slightly different person. The audience never bonds with a character, they bond with a consistent face. Soul ID is the bridge between AI looks cool and AI made me cry. So we're training these two versions because they specialize differently. Marcus on Soul 2.0 is realistic user-generated content. It's best for the tight, intimate portraits. Marcus on Soul Cinematic is cinema-grade dramatic atmosphere, which is better for the wider, lit-up emotional beats. And so now we've developed the keyframe one. And so the whole idea is as a roofer, if you're a roofer in the room, could this frame with the sound off telegraph the emotional state of the entire opening of this film? Do you know that this is about a roofing company or possibly about a roofing company from looking at it? We got the single cab light, we've got the truck, we've got the dump trailer. Now, was this what we were looking for, right? Like, is he parked funny? Yes, right? So we have to look and say, okay, is that what we were going for? So pre-dawn, Marcus in a truck, right? Phone will go on face. We said we didn't have Marcus yet, right? So now we don't actually need Marcus. So what we can say is like, well, Marcus isn't in the truck, right? Marcus isn't in the truck. So we could say, hey, the one thing I noticed is that Marcus isn't in the truck, probably because he isn't done his training set yet. But I want to know, do you, right, need him to be in the truck? Should you generate more versions? Can you do that based on a description that you have of him? But the fog is there. It's not a wall of fog. It's just a light fog. So everything you're saying, and this truck does feel small in a vast lot. You definitely got that part right. But the truck does dominate the frame. So it's awesome. The only thing you're missing is Marcus in the truck. I don't know if that's important to you, but maybe you generate two more versions before we ship it. Okay, so that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing right now. So I want to go back up to our plan and see what our steps are. Okay, so here's the plan ready for stream. So we generate the hero frame, right? Generate hero frame 2, the final image. So this is the final image. Same prompt structure, same composition, same truck, same angle. Marcus visible inside, phone screen lighting his face, emotion. Okay, so we can't do this yet because we don't yet have Marcus's character generated. Because if I go here and stop the screen share, let's see where we're at with our training. So again, once Marcus is trained, you can use Marcus in all kinds of videos. That's the magic, is that you start to create episodic videos. All right. Oh, look at this. We have him trained. Both are trained. So we actually have Marcus at this point. So now if I go generate, what happens? Okay, so we have him here. So now we have something we can do. All right. All right. Because this is back in our assets, right? Yeah. Is this, you guys digging this? That Jack thinks is pretty cool. That's awesome, Jack. I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you're still watching. All right, so we're gonna go back to Roof Claw and see what's going on. All right, so share screen. Back over here. What do we got? All right, honest Victorian, so no, Vito's storyboard actually calls for no driver visible in panel one. The artistic logic is to identify the idea of someone in the truck before we attach a face. A specific Marcus equals audience match watches Marcus. An anonymous silhouette, audience is Marcus. But you're right, in that current frame is missing something. The cab light has no source. It looks like a parked truck with a dome light left on, not an occupied truck. The fix isn't necessarily make Marcus visible, it's make the cab feel occupied. All right, so my pitch, silhouette, match the storyboard intent. Version 3, hinted Marcus, your direction, same drone wide. Solid consideration, Marcus isn't done training yet. Well, he's done training now, bro. Damien, this is really cool. I'm telling you, this is going to be the best. This is going to be the best YouTube and Facebook live stream for roofers who want to use AI. I might not be Alex Finn. I might not be Matt Wolf. I might not be Matthew Berman, but I will be the best AI channel for roofers because this stuff I can stay up till 10:07 p.m. at night, standing in my home office, just cranking on this kind of stuff with you guys. And I hope you guys really enjoy it, and I hope you guys learn something. I hope you guys feel empowered to go take action in your businesses. And so, just as a reminder again, guys, if you guys are watching this and you guys want this skill, I am putting everything. So every time I do these streams and I build something cool, I put it up here. So if you want the roof call local service ad agent, a service, basically a voice agent that is going to pull Google local service ads and then go contact your customers by phone and text message, you can just point your roof claw at this skill. That's the whole point of the roof claws. It's not just another open claw. It's an open claw trained to roofing, trained to your business that you are trained to use. And then the other part is that it comes with expansion packs, right? And so we are turning everything that we are doing today into another GitHub repo that is public, that is free to use. There's no gate behind it. We're actually going to blog about it when we're done. But this here is the Roof Claw Meta Ads agent, and it's going to come with the Higgsfield AI training thing with how to make Super Bowl level videos. And that's why we're putting through these pull requests. And so we are going to update the code base here in just a moment, probably, because if I look at our status, share this tab instead. This is the Roof Claw Meta Ads agent, and this is going to come with everything. And so you can see Claudio's in here, I'm in here, Vito's in here, and we're all updating this as we go. And then you will be able to point your agent at this and run through the Launchpad markdown file, which will literally guide your agent through building this with you. And so that way you will have this added to your system. That's your expansion pack. All right. And so if I go back over here to assets, let's see, did we get some more? Not yet. He's creating some more right now, actually. So we're going to jump over here. Yeah, or security consulting. Yeah, you could, if you're, oh, you lost connection to my screen share audio. That's okay. All right. So let's jump back over to Claudio and see where he's at. All right. So okay, so it's got me some more renderings. All right, both landed, downloading and viewing. So check this out. Okay, so it's hinting at Marcus, slightly older truck. Okay, different trucks. So we're gonna have to make sure we get some truck consistency, right? All right, so fog scene, setting drifted, looks more like a misty forest road than an empty parking lot. Yeah, so like this image was better. So if I had to say like which is Marcus, it's probably this one, right? Neither is shippable yet. V2 has the right intent, but wrong setting. V3 has character, but loses the poetry of restraint of the storyboards because it's going to do version 4.0. Microinnovation V4, the synthesis. Roll V4. One thing I think we need to do is get some truck consistency, because in the version 2 and version 3, one has a super old like 80s style Ford truck, and then you have like a 90s style Chevy truck. But in the original, you had more of like a 2014 Ford F-150 or F-250 single cab long box truck. So we need to get some truck consistency built into our video here so we don't confuse the audience with multiple different trucks. I haven't seen a version 4 yet. I only see the 2 versions with the Chevy truck, and you sent me 2 images with the old Ford, and then you sent the original photo, which I liked the best. It was the most cinematic. I would honestly use the very first image if we had no others. The only thing it's missing is a dude in the truck. Let's see. All assets. Nothing yet. What do we got over here? Okay, so we're going to see version 4 maybe. Coming through maybe. All right, and so you're right. We got those V2, V3 trucks drifted to different vintages. The fix is to lock the truck spec explicitly and use V1 itself as a style composition reference. V4 use V1 cinematography. V1 is a reference image, explicit truck spec, faint silhouette. 2014 white Ford F2 single cab long box, 2 doors, primary factory chrome grille, factory steel wheels, lived in working condition, attached to a matte black single axle dump trailer with a folded blue tarp strapped on. Probably would have had a double axle if I could pick my dump trailers, mate, but we are probably trying to paint Marcus as a sad story. Startup roofer. Switching to Nano Banana 2. All right. So basically see this, like it's working through the problem, right? It worked through the problem for me and it says, okay, I'm actually going to switch to Nano Banana 2 to get the better output. And so it's doing all the figuring outing for me. I'm not sitting here banging through Higgsfield the whole time. Like, yeah, I got to hop in there a couple of times. I get to go check out some stuff, but it's not sitting there making me suffer through it. All right, all right. So I see a few more people that popped in. Where are you guys coming in from? What are you guys looking for? We are generating a Super Bowl ad and running the Facebook meta ad. So we are going to generate a Super Bowl ad. We're going to post it to Facebook. We're going to get as far as we can. I want you guys to enjoy it and get some value out of this video. So I want you guys to tell me where you're from, what's your roofing company, where you're located, what's your struggles, right? We don't care about your struggles today. We'll leave that for a Winning Wednesday webinar. Well, let's see. We got Nano Banana cranking out. We're burning some credits. Northern Wisconsin, Roach Roof. Nice to have you here, man. Thank you for being here. Is Roach? Yeah, it's Roach Roofing Company. So yeah, I loved it. You guys in Wisconsin, so you guys got hit by a storm lately. So what we're doing right now is we're working through a storyboard process. So what you're seeing here is Roof Claw. Roof Claw is essentially a custom-built version of an open source software called OpenClaw that is customized to roofers, built to support roofers in their business. So it's like an employee. It basically sits on a laptop. If you come in behind me here, you'll see I'm surrounded by MacBooks, and that's because I build these and ship them to you. And so I have all these MacBooks around that I'm using. And it's basically a little bot farm. And then I send you guys the cattle, and then you guys get to use it. All right. So we got Marcus in a truck. And it's the same truck. So this is good. We actually got kind of 2 images, similar truck, so we're good. All right. All right. So both of those shots actually work really well. I'm going to save them just so I have them on my computer as well. Oh yeah, buddy. We are devouring some tokens today. That's the whole goal, right? Your self-worth is now measured in the amount of tokens that you use. So I'm going to save as. And we're going to go Marcus, close shot truck. So I'm going to save these because I kind of want to be able to use them again if I have something else, maybe save them somewhere else. You never know. You never know. There's our Marcus V1. Marcus truck distant shot. All right. Okay, so we've got our opening shot. What's the next step? We can scroll up here back to our plans. We had Marcus generate the casting character. And then where are we at? We're going up here. No. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, so generate the hero frame 2, the final image, the mirror. Same prompt structure, same composition, inverted emotion. Same truck, same angle. All right, so it looks like this is where we're at. So we're on step 4, which is the final image. So say, sounds like the next step is step 4, which is the final image. And so I guess we're going to go back and fill in the in-between, but this is the final image, the final shot, which completes the story loop. And so I want you to finish up with step 4. Here's a reminder. All right, so I'm going to go back to, we're going to go back to Higgsfield, and we're going to go here. I really got to figure out if there's a way to swap between screens. All right, so if I go back to assets, so it's not in here. So I think it actually generated with Nano Banana through my other API key, but that's okay because we can upload assets. So if I go, how do I go assets? And I can go Cinema Studio. Oh no, they're right here. Okay. Marcus is sitting in the whoop. This is a bad one. So how do we say this sucks? Delete. And we only want the forward images. So we're going to get rid of this one. We're going to get rid of this one because this doesn't look like the forward. We're going to get rid of this one. Okay, so we've got our cinematic shots. And oh, I didn't send that message in. So what is the video that you would like to create? If you had a video idea, if you could describe a video in 3 sentences that would make a customer cry or laugh, what would it be? Because I've seen some funny ones too. If you guys want to see some funny AI generated videos, I'll show you some cool ones. I got one here. We've worked with a few customers on this in the past. Before we had an agent to do the work, let's go Sweaty Italian. So we got Roofclaw busy working away. He's typing up here. And so this is actually communicating with the Mac Mini on my desk. If you guys weren't there. All right, we're going to switch over to share this screen and give you guys a quick laugh while we're waiting. I got to entertain the people. We got to entertain the people while they're waiting for AI to do its job. So we'll show you some stuff we've done before. All right, so make sure we're sharing. I got to make sure I'm sharing the audio, actually. Share screen and share the audio. Yep, okay. So while you're waiting, we're going to go and watch this. Sweaty Italians.
Here, all of this could have been prevented. All they had to do was spend $199 to clean the damn dryer vent. Pause. You're probably wondering how it got to this point. Let's go back a few days and see where a family made a stupid mistake. I was knocking on doors, helping families prevent the #1 cause of house fires by cleaning out the dryer vents for only $199. This family said no. And look what happened.
I regret to inform you, the family didn't even die from the fire.
For the record, we've collaborated with this guy in the past. $2,500 to make this video.
Fire even started.
To think all this could be prevented if people would just click the link, take a week, and we stopped by to clean the dryer vents without them even knowing we're there. $199, no carbon monoxide, no house fires, no face-to-face contact with sweaty Italians. Sounds like a deal. Click the link below. Let's avoid all the drama.
So this is what I'm talking about, guys, right? We got to make customers laugh and we got to make them cry. And so that was just a storyboard, right? Like that's 100% AI generated. AI is like plastic surgery. You only notice it when it's bad. But that was funny enough that people will forgive. If you're funny, people will forgive. So you got to make it funny. And the great thing is AI is a great ideation tool. And when you have a Roofclaw and you point at this GitHub repo, it will guide you through the Sumo quote ad ideation process to come up with something funny. So even if you are not funny, you can come up with something cool. All right, so we're cooking again. Claudio's busy. Let's show you guys what Claudio's up to. All right, so we've got understood wide to wide. So we're working on the next thing. So we got Wide to wide mirrors the graph shot. The gas moves. Same lot, same truck, same drone heights as V1, but the world is flipped. Cold blue, warm golden slump silhouette. Upright with phone screen glow on his face. The fog thinning as the sun breaks. For character identity, I'll multi-image condition Nano Banana 2 with 4 anchors chosen surgically for what each contributes. All right, so V1 itself, composition, C3, quiet relief, D6, green's phone glow. Okay, A1 front headshot, pure identity lock. So Marcus reads as Marcus. Pulling the URLs. You know what? I think I haven't told it that Marcus finished. So, all right. So while it cooks, so what you guys need to know, this is what you guys need. This is the most important shot in the film because the visual rhyme. It's the same lot, the same truck, and the same drone height, the same camera angle, but the world has flipped. Remember what I said earlier about the Save the Cat story beat sheets, right? It's like you are the hero. So in my video, you, the roofer, are the hero, right? And the hero has a problem, right? There's a conflict. And it is either internal, external, or a philosophical problem, right? And then there along comes the guide, right? Which is me, RBP, Roof Claw, right? And the guide has a plan and a promise. And the promise is to solve the problem, to remove the pain, internal, external, philosophical. And so then there will be fun and games and a climactic event where the problem is now gone, and either the world has changed around the roofer or the roofer has changed in the world. That's the whole point. And so the whole idea is that we are changing it. So when this lands and we cut between V1 and this frame, the audience gasps. This is not me trying to be dramatic. This is exactly how Whiplash and Manchester by Sea and The Bear all build their final beats. The same composition repeated with one variable change creates an emotional voltage that no other shot can deliver. So notice what we did with the multi-image conditioning. We fed the model 4 reference images, each contributing something specific. Our V1 frame, this is for composition, the lot and the truck identity. 2, the Marcus headshot A1, who he is. Marcus C3 is the quiet relief. This is his expression in this moment. And Marcus D6 is the phone glow, which is the exact lighting reference. This is the layered prompting that pros use. So you're not throwing one thing at the model and praying. You're giving it a referencer, a director's reference packet. And so it doesn't like what it created yet. It doesn't gasp yet, right? So he's smiling. There we go. We fix the gasp with 2 surgical changes. Lock composition, emphasize identical drone altitude, force the phone underglow. So I want to say here, try V3 with Soul Cinematic. If your Marcus is trained, so I got to let it know. Yes, the Soul Cinematic has finished. We now have that character in Soul Cinematic now. Ah, crap. It's not School Cinematic, Soul. By the way, Soul Cinematic. So I'm basically letting it know that we do, in fact, have the Soul Cinematic is done now. A little bit more, but I think to resonate. I don't know about you, but I don't know about you guys, but I go through washing machines and dryers like they're going out of style. You told me I would make my machines last longer. You told me I would make my machines last longer. I don't understand. A little bit morbid to think, I think to a little bit morbid, I think to resonate. I don't know about you guys, but I go through washing machines and dryers like they're going out of style. You told me I would make my machines last longer. I don't understand what that means, roach roofing. You're gonna have to oh, I'd buy. I was talking about the $199 dry cleaning. Oh, right. Yes, 100%. Yes. So that's you're saying you'd buy if the dry cleaning made the machine last longer. See, so that is a great example of like how you can create value in excessive price, right? If you make the washing and dryer machine, if you make the dryer last longer because you clean the dryer vent, you make the $2,000 dryer last longer because of a $199 dryer vent cleaning. This is value in excessive price. That's exactly what you're going for when you're doing something like this. All right, so what you're seeing here is you're seeing a bunch of code and gobbledygook, right? And so it is going to try and say, all right, I'm going to try and you do these surgical changes. So I'm going to copy because I think it's using Nano Banana to generate images rather than actually using our Soul cinematic, but that's because I didn't tell it, okay? Because it's all about prompting. You got to tell it what you're doing. And so we have our Soul. So hopefully we can use Marcus with Soul 2.0 to generate. So I don't know how you like how it pulls that in the MCP, right? So maybe we could search that, right? So I'll come over here and we'll do Soul Cinematic. And we're going to share this tab instead. We're going to say, can you expose the endpoint in the MCP for Higgsfield that allows you to put your soul characters into your videos as opposed to just raw images? Because again, this MCP like literally got launched yesterday, so it's only going to get better from here. They might not have exposed every single endpoint or every single tool, and so now we might have to actually, figure this kind of stuff up. Okay, so prompt. Okay, so here we go. So custom reference ID, your character ID. So it has to know which character ID it is to know which one this is. So when you train your character in Higgsfield, often referred to as a Soul ID character, the system generates a unique identifier, right? Good data model. Okay, so we just have to know what is our custom Soul ID. So if I go in here and go back to character, Soul ID character, I wonder if I go inspect, go a little bit like this. Whoop, whoop. Why can't I move this over? There we go. Whoop. Oh, I go back. Back. What I'll do is I'm just looking for, seeing if I can find the Soul ID on here. It's probably going to know it. I'm just interested in how Higgsfield works because then I'll know more about it, but I don't think it's actually exposing it here for me. Parabolic class, overflow, header promotion, style main. I could probably search. Someone smarter than me. I got a guy who works for me named what is it? Where how do I get this? His name is oh, come on now, Adam. Jose. He's even smarter with Chrome DevTools than I am. Oh, wait a minute. What are these three dots down here? Edit cover, reuse, update for cinema, edit cover. No. I was hoping I could get cover, character, uploaded. No. Knows Marcus. Okay, so firing. Okay, so it knows it's firing Soul Cinema. Okay, so it's got it. Sorry, I'm not sharing that with you guys. All right, we're going to go here. Go stop share. Go back to our roof claw. Excellent. Soul Cinematic and Train Marcus is the dream tool for this dramatic lighting frame. Let me check exactly the train character invoke. Firing Soul Cinema D6, Soul Cinema. So I don't know. Is that good, Marcus? Not a great Marcus. I would try that one again and make sure you use maybe the other Soul 2.0 version of Marcus rather than Soul Cinema. Are you able to echo back the Soul IDs that you're using? Because I can't find the Soul IDs when I'm looking at it through the user interface, but maybe you can tell me the Soul IDs so I know that you are in fact using one or the other. We could also be running up against some context here at this point. Or you use /status to find out like how many tokens have we burned? 183,000 tokens. We're not even at our 1 million token context limit yet. we're caching 99%. So this is good. We're running on Opus 4.7. Gosh, I got to update my OpenClaw. Okay. And then we have, okay, so the truth, I have not been using your trained soul ID characters. I've been passing reference image specifically. Okay, so no, we got to be using as values here. Okay, so the trained Marcus on Soul 2.0 in Cinema on the web UI never been called. The reason the portraits look like Marcus so far is the reference images themselves are Marcus, so the model is faithfully copied. Let me investigate the actual mechanism. See, so there we go. Because, what's this? Because Ruth's really call from a phone. Are you actually talking into a microphone and prompting Ruth Clark? Or are you just talking out loud what you're typing? Ah, sorry about that. Here, let me make it bigger. There's another way for me to do this, which is like this or this. No, maybe this. Which one is the biggest? That is probably the biggest I can get it. If I go like that, it's probably the biggest. Maybe if I went like this and went like this, does that make it bigger for you guys? No, it doesn't. What if I go like this? In Telegram, can I zoom? Oh, well, window, zoom. Nope. Let's try to see if I can make this bigger for you guys. Whoops. See, I told you. Told you guys. How do I get this out of full screen mode? No. That's about as big as I can make it, my man. So yes, I did. When I dictate, you're going to hear a little click, right? So if I go like this, you'll see her. Doop, 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 tuck, 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 tuck. That's what you guys are seeing. But yes, I am dictating to my roof clock. Actually, if you guys don't know what that is, this is a good time for me to get my $10. It's a good time for me to get my $10. If you don't know what Whisper Flow is, you're a sucker that's still typing like a loser. So I put my little referral link in here. So we're going to go here. And so if you check in the console, it's on YouTube. How do I get it over to you on Facebook? So yes, I'm using something called whisperflow.ai. And if you use my, I'll send it to you on Facebook, because if you use my link, I get $10. Nothing like getting paid $10. Better than kicking the ass. I spent more than that in tokens tonight trying to show you guys stuff. So I'm going to get that. Where are you at, Damien? There you are. Sent me an X post today. There we go. All right. At what point do you think this transitions from bouncing between models and endless tools to a Jarvis from Iron Man type assistant? So this is already pretty Jarvis, Roach. Like the whole idea is like, I don't have to jump between models. Like I'm training this thing. I've never done this before. This will actually get turned into skills. So if you actually go into, like, as I'm going, like today, as I'm going, I'm actually pushing all of this over to this thing called GitHub. And so if you have a roof claw, this software that I can give you, right? Or not give you, but sell you, you can buy it. If you get a roof claw, you can point your roof claw at this system, okay? And you just point it at this link. That's all you're going to do. You're just going to point it at this link. Actually, it'll be this link right here. So you will point it at this URL, which I will post on the actual live video as a comment, okay? And so you will probably see it in the comments here. You will be able to point your roof claw at this. It'll launch the launchpad file and it'll walk you through setting this up, and then it will be trained, because I'm going to be putting all of this in for you guys so that you guys don't have to go through all this, because I will put a lot of this practice, like all these little blips that I've had, right? have been kind of breaking up. Okay, so here we go. So confirmed your Soul ID training happened. The Soul ID minus 25 credits. The MCP doesn't expose trained Soul IDs. Okay, so now here's what we're going to do. Open Higgsfield, click on Marcus, look at either the URL bar should contain a UUID, or B, click copy ID in the settings panel inside the character page. All right, so let's see if we can extract this. Let's show you guys some hacks to get around stuff, okay? So we're going to do some hacks to get around stuff, because I'm pretty sure if I come into Higgsfield, I can't actually get you guys. So see, remember I was using that inspect feature before, because if I click on here, all right, if I click on here, it doesn't necessarily give me the Soul ID, does it? Nope. Main next static media. Command F. Soul. Okay. Let's go here. Next. Try to see if I can find an ID. Soul ID consistent. We're going to go too many IDs. So now instead, what we're going to do, so I'm analyzing the HTML, but we're going to try something else. Okay. So I'm going to share you guys more of my screen here for a second, so you guys can see what I'm doing. So we're going to go straight here. We're going to go share screen, and we're going to go entire screen. You're going to get the infinity window, and we're going to go over to here. Hey, Claude, can you somehow find out the Soul ID for either or both of the Soul characters that I've created in Higgsfield? I need the Soul ID unique ID files so that I can reference them in my designs. Because it's saying that if I give it the unique ID, right, then it can use it. It can use it in my video. So I'm using Claude inside Chrome. So this is the Chrome extension for Claude to see if it can dig around and find it for me and ultimately make my life a little bit easier by getting me what I need. So that's what I'm trying to get it to do right now. See, it's not giving me it in the URL, right? I go over here. Yeah, it's not giving me that. See, it's using a JavaScript tool. It's going to try and dig it out. And then there's another level of hack that I can do even on top of this, where we could use Codex to actually open this page. I'll actually show you guys that. Okay, so we're going to go use Codex. So let's rip this URL. And then we're going to go to Codex and say, hey, I want your help. And we're going to go over here, like this, add a browser. We're going to go here. Log in. Continue with Google. And then it's going to ask me to open up my smart lock. There we go. Confirm it's me. Yes, it's me. Use the browser window. I want you to see if you can help me pull out of the JavaScript or the website code. I'm trying to find the sole ID for my two characters here, Marcus-Cinema and Marcus. And so we're going to say, hey, can you rip into this web page and do it? Because Claude, there we go. All right, I have the sole IDs. So see, now I know how to find the sole IDs, boys. How do I go here? Stop screen share, go back to screen share. So we managed to hack our way in and get it. So now back over here, share this. Got the IDs. Now we do this properly, saving them first, firing the genuine trained character invocation. This ain't let me, this ain't stopping me. Now, so we'll jump over to Codex because it's also plugging away. Let's close this. So, all right. So what Codex is, by the way, what Codex is, if I go here while Claudio's working away here, window, Codex. Where did it go? So if I go here, and I go here. I don't know if you guys can see this window. I'm switched over on another screen. But basically, it's inspecting the card containers and finding the ancestors. So it's basically hacking the site for me too. And it's finding what's underneath here. So Codex can actually like use your whole computer as well. So you can't fire it up. You can't talk to it from Telegram. You can't use it from your mobile phone. It doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have a memory. It's a little bit different, but it's going to pull through. It would probably get it as well. And so coming over here, stop screen. Go back over to Claudio here. All right, so Soul ID saved the project state. Now firing the genuine Soul invocation with Soul ID. Nice. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm actually going to once I get this back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit what we've learned to memory so that I save it on my machine. And then we're going to take the memories and we're going to commit a new pull request, a new submission to that GitHub page. So then that GitHub page now has what we've learned. So all the crap that I went through today in the last hour and 43 minutes with you guys, you don't have to go through all this crap because it's going to learn, right? Because your RoofClaw actually has a browser relay. It has the ability to do what I did with Claude, that thing that I did there. It has the ability to do that. It has the ability to actually kind of do exactly what I did with Claude or Codex. It has the ability to do that. It would just, you wouldn't see it like I saw it because it would be happening on the machine over there. But I just did it so I could show you guys. All right, so what do we got here? So we got the wrong truck. So we got to go here and say, oh, crap, I didn't mean to do that. So slash, by the way. Oh, sorry, slash, by the way. So I think you're doing a better job now, but the only thing is you lacked the truck consistency. So you have the soul consistency with a person, but you don't have the truck consistency in that most recently created image. So one thing I want you to make sure that you add to your skills when you are doing this in the future with me, and by extension, when we upload this to GitHub, I want to make sure that you add a kind of a lesson, which is that you want to get consistency not just in the character, but also in the scene, as well as with things like trucks and tools. Like if we have a 2-axle dump trailer, we always make sure that we get a JSON object so that when we're prompting Higgsfield, we get not just character consistency, but scene composition and like props or items in the scene, such as the truck and the dump trailer, or even things as simple as the phone, like if it's an iPhone or an Android phone. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm going through this. This is the first time I've done this. I'm going through this, and I'm learning all this for you, and then I'm going to be uploading it to the GitHub project that you see there up on the screen. If you want a roof claw, you can scan the QR code on your screen, or you can go to roofclaw.com and you guys can buy a roof claw on there. It is the cheapest, most powerful, smartest employee you're ever going to buy. And you only have to do one thing. Come here and watch what is going to be the worst orchestrated but most useful roofer live stream that you are going to find on the internet. All right, see, so now we are building JSON. See, this is JSON. So the JSON says, okay, characters, Marcus, vehicles, Marcus truck, make, model, 2014 Ford F-250 Super Duty, configure, single cab, long bed, wheels, white, factory steel, no aftermarket, grill, factory chrome, lived in working truck, mud on wheel wells, tailgate stickers, light scuffs, negative, no extended cab, no crew cab, no Chevy, no Dodge, no Hilux, no aftermarket lifts, Marcus trailer, single axle dump trailer, color matte black. So it's basically building an array of objects so that it's consistent anytime it generates. Then every prompt gets assembled from the Bible, not freehand written. So panel 1, panel 5, panel 7, panel 14, every truck shot pulls the exact same truck spec, no drift, right? In the GitHub repository. Okay, so we're going to check out this, exactly the kind of lesson that separates a hobbyist workflow from brand film studio workflow. Logging it, it's now part of how I work. So we've trained it. All right. So I want to say this is a good place to stop and consolidate our lessons and go into the GitHub repo and make sure that we update it with skills and lessons so that anytime one of our customers points their roof claw at our GitHub project, it pulls in these lessons so that it brings these skills onto their machine so they don't have to teach it and train it the things that we taught and trained you. Oh, what's my voice profile today? There we go. All right. All right. What do we got here? So no fancy logos on the side of the truck. I can't tell you how many trucks in the city are using the exact same template that I did on my trucks. Yes. When we got into the roofing game, everybody had the like little itty bitty sticker on the side of the truck. And then we literally tilted our logo to the side so we could get it literally from the top to the bottom. And now it's kind of like the standard in 2020, 2026. All right. So what it's doing here, see what it's going to implement, is building the documents that it is then going to push towards that GitHub project. So now you guys, when you buy Roof Claw, you can pull in all of these skills. The idea being that this thing is built specially for Roof Claw. This is built somewhere so that you guys have you get to take all the lessons from today and you guys get to absorb it into your machines. Now, if you have a Roof Claw that's a production manager, you are not going to give it the skill. You are going to buy another Roof Claw. So if you've already bought one, you get 25% off your second Roof Claw. So that way you get a deal to buy a second one so you can have your marketing Roof Claw. All right, so we're going to go back up here and check out our Higgs field just to see what's going on. All right, so we can close this now and get rid of that. Ungroup. All right. I'm going to shut that down and come back over here with you guys. How many agents per Roof Claw? You can have a whole fleet of sub agents. You can have 32 sub agents. You just can't have them exist in too much conflict with one another. You can have lots of sub agents that perform several tasks, but if you have a marketing one and an accounting one, they're going to exist in conflict with one another. It can be done. I have done it. I've had up to 32 sub agents on one Roof Claw. I sold it to a billionaire, but it was a very complicated memory system so that it had a way to basically put a concrete wall between those agents because they accessed a separate memory system. So that way they didn't absorb each other's personalities. So, but if you have an accountant agent and a marketing agent, the accounting agent wants to cut the marketing budget to save money, and the marketing agent wants to spend all the profit, right? But and I don't know a lot of billionaires, Damien. It's not that I know a lot of billionaires. Like he's not even a billionaire, but he's probably like close, probably like half, right? But I know him because of something else I'm working on. He's like I paid him to be a mentor and advisor, and he thought it was kind of cool. And so he's like, will you make me one of those things? And so I did. And he's got like his own private server and all this kind of stuff. So his kids all have roof claws that can connect to their private server, and it's called the Ark. He's kind of a wealthy prepper. He's not part of the evil cabal that runs the world, but he knows them. All right, this is exciting. We're going to see this pull request here in a moment, and we're going to update it, and then we're going to be able to crank away on improving. All right, see, so now there we go. So it's like, so what have we got? Session consolidation complete, what's now in production for any customer's roof claw to pull. New docs, Higgsfield lessons learned, cardinal rule, model to job matching matrix, 28 image character casting pipeline, MCP schema quirks. So you get all the quirks that I dealt with. You don't have the trained soul ID invocation pattern, iteration discipline, storyboard to model transition, 6 anchor reference image creation rule, pre-generation checklist. So cross references added in README and the CDANS playbook. Live at this gives a personal memory update so I don't relearn this in future sessions. What this means for our customers, when a customer's roof claw points at your GitHub repo and reads it as a part of their implementation, it now inherits the model selection muscle memory we earned the hard way tonight, saving them the same 50 credit lesson we just paid. The exact 28-page image casting protocol, all this stuff. So now I click on this, and I'll switch over so you guys see what's going on here. So I'll go here and stop screen and share over to our GitHub. So now in here, right, you have now gained all this. So if I go up here into pull requests, oh, did you just update? Oh, I just updated it. I think so I'm going to go back and say, did you update it without creating a PR? Did that because I don't have rules set up on this GitHub yet because it's not I don't have merge rules set up because it's brand new. You're right. I direct push to main. That was wrong, even though reversing now, revert to commit on main. Push the same changes to a future branch, open a PR for your review. There we go. So see, I'm teaching it because it's it basically just committed to main. It didn't actually push a proper pull request. All that means, a pull request just means that you can log the change, right? So you can log that change, and that way it just shows that it came in, shows that it kind of came in as a version. So we've technically done 2 PRs on this GitHub already, and this is just making it so that now we have one. So now if I click this and we come over here and share screen, we'll be able to review the changes. This is just stuff like, it might not be something that you find super relevant to you, but version control is a huge part of like learning how to work with AI, is like storing code somewhere and just telling it that you want to keep a good version. So here it creates a description, a summary of what it did, right? And so tone matches the rest of the docs, code JSON example. So this shows like, hey, what changes did we make? So files changed 3. And so these are all the files that it added. So this is the markdown that your agent is going to learn from. So your roof claw is smarter than what my roof claw was, because it wrote 244 lines of code that yours doesn't have to. And that's just one of them, right? Because we go here, then we go here, we've got this here. And then, so it says, hey, this is your playbook. You can read this. You can go read lessons learned. So you can learn the lessons that we learned. And then it deleted these 2 lines and added these 4 lines into this document. And so this is the changes that are done. And so I can come over here and go ready to merge this request, right? And now bingo is now merged onto the main. And so you guys have access to it, and we can come back and see Oh yeah, it's merging right now. So it's through the process, going through the process. So I go here, right? There, it's gone. Okay. So we have 2 closed merges that we ran today, and we're going to do some more. All right, so we're going to come back right here, remove this. I'll go back to Claudio. But this is how we eventually get to the point where this is just a skill we run. All right, so let's check our context. Status. All right, we're good. So we're going to scroll way up, and we're going to go here, and we're going to see what we should do next. So cast market, hero frame. So we should do hero frame 2. All right, so you are currently at 237,000 tokens of a million, or at 24%. We haven't done any compaction. I would love to generate the next scene after the first scene according to the storyboard that Vito drew up. I want to start generating the scenes. You could do this with subagents, but I think you kind of have to pass through what's generated from scene 2 to scene 3, from scene 3 to scene 4, from scene 4 to scene 5. So I don't think you can do this really with subagents. I don't think we can parallelize this. So we probably have to just do one after another. Maybe what you could do is generate the prompts for scene 2, scene 3, and scene 4 so we can review them, just so I can show the audience what this process looks like. By the way, I just got to say, guys, like, it is probably 10 o'clock, or it is probably like 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. for some of you. I appreciate you guys hanging with me and throwing some comments in the chat and participating. It's been fun working with you. I really want to make these lives into something that's actually tactical. You know, I could do the thing where like the YouTuber goes in, clicks around, shows you what you could do, but doesn't actually show you like the real hard battles of going from like what you could do to how it actually works. And instead of making the super polished video that like just shows like, you know, this destroys everything, MCP, you know, this is absurd, right? And then you just click on the video and it's a guy like setting it up for the first time and he just kind of shows you what it could do and then doesn't actually show you the hard battles. That's the thing that I don't love about YouTube, right? Is like I have to watch 10 YouTube videos to get a grasp on this, and then try and like turn that into something that I can use. And I thought, why not just take people along on the journey? And so yeah, so this is just me being raw. So the raw is best. I love it. We're raw dogging learning AI together. And so I've done this kind of stuff in tools like Flow, but you got to do it one at a time. And then it's always like the nice thing is with a roof claw, this session, this transcript is all saved on the hard drive. Like I can come back to this project at any time and it remembers every single word that I said. It's not lost into some ChatGPT memory that I don't have access to. I can come back to this transcript at any time and I can say, hey, I want to go to bed. I want to kick off this project. And so, yeah, this is the cool thing about a roof claw. Mexid Gaming. How often are you doing lives, Adam? Are they on a regular schedule? These are awesome. Mexid, I'm glad you think this is awesome. I've been doing them late at night because I'm convinced that I would suck on live stream. I do a lot of webinars, but those are very controlled. This is more just like me kicking it real, like just trying to see it. So it's not on a schedule yet, but I was waiting for a comment like that to tell me that I'm not a bad live streamer, and then I'll probably do more of them. All right, so let's scan through. So what you just said is literally why I follow your content, why I follow you content. So, hey, man, Roach, thank you so much, man. That means a ton because I want to do stuff that's of value, right? Okay, so Smart Call, Prompt Craft is the demo here. Audience watches. Important honest call from a front. We've only cast Marcus. Vito storyboard introduces 3 different characters. So cast Denny and Carmen now. Okay, so we could parallelize that. So, all right, the raw organic content you're talking about is literally why I follow you over anybody else talking tech in the roof industry. That's what makes me nervous about using AI-generated marketing content. So you can use AI-generated marketing content, but like I said at the very top of the hour, like AI is like plastic surgery. You only notice it when it's bad. So you have to invest a little bit of time to making it good. And yeah, this has been 2 hours to generate 2 pictures, right? But really what we're doing is we're doing the prep. I can cast Marcus in 100 videos from now on. Like I can do, and again, I make videos to speak to roofers, to hopefully earn their trust, to earn their business, to help to make my business grow. You're going to do the same thing. Like we have a customer doing some AI generated videos, more the conventional way, not through agents. We're doing it like, by hand. And it's about, it's a roofer in Florida. And it's basically like this like guy that's like kind of like a Johnny Knoxville Daredevil AI generated guy. And all he's doing is trying to test his new metal roof. So he's like, it's like a scene of like a guy on a motorcycle, and it's like vroom, vroom, and his sunglasses casting across here. And then it's like, and then it shows him suddenly smirking, like, grinning. And then you hear him like, you see the tire, and then he like races off and he hits the jump and he lands and he bangs off his roof and falls off the other side. And then he runs around and he goes, ha ha, and it's like no dent. And it's like just a series of a bunch of ways he's trying to see if he can break his metal roof. So it's episodic in nature. So the character consistency is going to make people laugh, and they're going to be a little forgiving on the fact that like maybe the motorcycle, goes from being a Kawasaki to a Suzuki or something, right? What do you use for the cloud AI to power RoofClaw? So I have been testing Opus 4.7 and GPT 5.5. I've tried everything. I've tried the Quen and DeepSeek and Minimax. I've connected it to Open Router. I've tried it. I will say that like ChatGPT 5.4 was terrible. It like Opus 4.6 was like my favorite until GPT 5.5. Opus 4.7 still pretty good, but like it's almost kind of flipped, like Opus 4.6, like it would claw with its fingernails to get the job done. Like you could cut its leg off and it would just crawl to the finish line to get it done. Like it would get the task done. Whereas like ChatGPT 5.4, it's like the wind would blow and it would be like, hey, did you do it? Oh, you're right. I owe you an apology here, Adam. I didn't do it. This is what I didn't get done. I got to do this. I should have done that. Okay, do that. And then you're like 2 minutes later, 10 minutes later, hey, so did you get that done? Oh, I didn't do it. And you're like, what is wrong with you, right? And then it flipped. Like Opus 4.7 has been kind of buggy, more so in Claude Code than in the RoofClaw or OpenClaw instance. But 5.5 is a freaking super genius. So if I come over here to Vito and I go /status on this guy, he should be running on 5.5, right? Oh, no, I flipped him over to Anthropic. So if I go here, go /model, and flip him over to 5.5, browse providers, and then go OpenAI, and then go 5.5. So I've been using both Opus and like I've tried all the other ones. I had Gamma 4 as a local model. I played around. Like at the end of the day, I spend more time trying to brute force and violence my way through with a cheaper model, that my time is worth more than the money in my bank. Like I value my time more than I value my money. So I burn tokens like a crack addict. Okay. So I do a lot more with AI than most people. So but I just find that like, I want to get it done right. I want an AI agent that works as hard as I do. And so, yeah, so that's what I'm using. Hey, man, appreciate you, Damien. I'm glad you're getting value from this. So when there's super good spots for AI, but I'm not sold on the marketing side besides planning. What do you mean not sold? So when there's super good spots for AI, but I'm not sold on the marketing side, but well, no. So you can do the marketing. So we can actually post this to Facebook ads. So if I go down here, so one sec, let me review this and I'll talk to you about the marketing side. I thought you could not get 5.5 yet on OpenClaw. Are you not? I'm not using OAuth. I'm using the API key. That OAuth thing, you get rate limited. It's too good to be true. So I use the API key. I burn lots of tokens. I just make it do economically viable work. This is your like writer downer of the day. Is that when it comes to AI, you have to think like, why do I use WhisperFlow? Typing takes calories. Talking takes calories. It takes energy, right? And so you convert energy, food and calories into the body, then you burn those calories to input the output, right? So you can either use your finger digits, which move, I type at about 130 words a minute, but it's exhausting. When I'm lazy, I type at like 78 words a minute. I can talk consistently lazy, even with breaks and pauses and stopping to go, it can still talk at like 135, 144 words a minute. And so it's easier to put more effort in when typing because you need to give AI a goal and then context and then action and then output. And then there's guardrails and intention and harness and evaluation criteria and testing. And like but the basis of every good prompt is like a goal and then the context behind the goal and then the action you want to take and what the output's going to look like. And so you want to be good at prompting. So you have to give it context. So you talk to it and you give it lots of context. And then that creates an action and an output. So then you're converting your context into tokens, and the tokens converts into economically valuable work, and the economically valuable work turns into money, and then you should be making more money from your tokens than you are spending. So calories become context, becomes tokens, becomes money. That's the lesson. That's your writer downer of the day. Okay. And so no local models hit the mark for you. No, not yet, but that's because I have not yet invested in a $15,000 machine. I'm really, really hanging out because I can't get the model I want even on 2 DGX Sparks. And I'm really hanging out to see what Apple comes out with. The fact that they let Tim Cook resigned and who replaced him was like a hardware guy. I think that the future of software is hardware because software is so easy now that the future of software is hardware. And I'm just waiting until June to see what Apple comes out with, to see if I'm going to buy some kind of crazy machine or if I'm going to buy the crazy new M5 Mac Studio. All right, so what do we got? So Marcus's cast. So cut A, truck reviewing the estimate. So that's the prompt 1. So you can see here, prompt, medias, opening frame. So it's going to say, we need to make sure that these prompts are good. So I want to make sure we have the better JSON for those. All right, so I like your prompts, but I think you need to create more of the JSON prompts that create more of the consistency of the items that are around because you're using kind of a natural language description, but I think you need to add in the JSON descriptions. So what I think you do is I think you fire up a couple sub agents. One, you produce the frame 2 for the Marcus storyline, and then another sub agent generating Danny and another sub agent generating Carmen. So that way you can do that in parallel because Danny doesn't depend on Carmen, Carmen doesn't depend on Danny, and Marcus's second scene doesn't depend on Danny or Carmen. So you can fire up sub agents of yourself and go produce that. And so I think we're going to basically take path A, but you're going to run those in parallel, just like you're saying. And that way we can show everybody what parallelization looks like on the live. Oh yeah, like Roach Roofing. Yeah, we've generated AI videos that like that Italian roofing one that I showed you earlier. There are others. There are others. Hold on one second here. I'm gonna remove this. Stop screen. So here's one that our video guy did for a roofing company in the Olympics. So if I go back and if I go Olympic, so this is a very good example. This actually ran on TV. Olympic, there we go. So this
it's just dirt.
During the Olympics.
To us, it's the arena, the starting gun, the grind, the heat. We sweat the details so you don't have to. That's the feeling of victory, and there is only one team that brings home the gold. Team Farrell. One call does it all.
So that ad actually ran during a TV spot during the Olympics. So can it be done? Absolutely. It is now keep in mind that person's a professional. Like they know how to prompt. This is taking care of that expertise. Like the guy who prompted that video, he used to be like, he's one of the contractors that we use for generating AI videos for roofers. But these guys charge between $2,500 to $7,500 for a video. Like a 30-second spot is between $2,500 and $5K. 90-second spots between 5K and 7,500. Like, we've spent less than $50 tonight and our time. You know what I mean? But like that guy, he'll say like shots starting from 35 millimeter shot on a say Sony A7 with a D35 lens using a wide pan quick zoom or a jump shot or like pan 30 degrees left. Like, he knows how to prompt it because he actually produced video in a studio for outdoor TV. He did a fishing show and like a kind of like a home renovation show. And so he's actually worked in television production. So previously, all of these skills were kind of locked to the people who actually knew how to use a software like this, right? Like, you had to know how to open up. Sorry about that. Yeah, we lost you. We lost you. Sorry about that. I guess 2 hours and 11 minutes was the limit for how much I could store. But yeah, the whole concept, where was I? That was kind of abrupt. Oh, yeah, so like an expert knows how to prompt, right? Like, they know how to do it. Now, with the Higgs field skill that I built into this thing, it is taking what you don't know about drafting a prompt. It's like wide, medium, handheld, documentary shot at pre-dawn at 5:50 a.m., real TLJ aspect 16:9. Like, it's creating the prompts, and I think that it could be done even better because it was just like, I think it could be done even better, right? And so what you saw me do was tell it like, hey, I want you to actually add in the JSON object as before because I want you to get really good consistency. So this is just me training it to know what a proper video producer would do. And so that's just the nature of developing the skill. So in the hands of somebody who knows how to use this tool, yes, they will be faster. But you can actually implement this. You can actually do this. I've just been yapping the whole time, figuring it out, and then I build it into a skill, and then it becomes something I can use on a repeatable basis. And I'm saving you guys a lot of this work by saying, one, give you a platform from which to use it, and then two, give you a skill to make it easy to actually get it into your hands so that you're not stuck. But the people who actually do this kind of stuff for a living, yeah, they're going to be faster, right? Because like I said, you don't have to be a good leader, you have to be a good trainer. And so I'm trying to train it so that way you guys, like, this is what they call cinema studio, right? Which is where you can start to combine more pieces into this thing and then start to like actually, like, you need to know how to use this tool because it's essentially AI is now the camera, right? AI is just now the camera. So this is our Danny, right? It's creating Danny now, and then it's probably going to create Carmen. If I go into our assets, it's probably, I don't know if it's generated her yet. So we started out with Marcus, right? And now it's building me out Danny, right? And so and then eventually we're going to get Carmen, which is the girl, right? Because they got to have a female roofer, because I know a few of them. And so that's what you guys are seeing. You guys are seeing us build this out. And so what is happening now in the background is 3 Claude instances. So my agent has spawned 3 sub agents of itself, essentially giving, it basically clones itself, and then it takes out a post-it note, right? So it takes out a post-it note, and it says, go generate Carmen. It hands its clone this post-it note, and it says, okay, now go generate the Carmen. And then it clones itself again, and it gets this post-it note. It says, go create Danny, and it hands it the post-it note. And then it creates another clone of itself and it says, go create Marcus scene 3 or scene 2. And so it's essentially starting to draft. It's starting to work in parallel. So everything we did tonight was to build the skill so that eventually we could parallelize or create sub-agents so that it would go and then do that work for us on our behalf so that we have the ability to work at 3 times the speed. Like we are now, as of this moment, working at 3 times the speed as that what we were working at before, because we built the underlying skill and then we made it so it's repeatable so they can spawn these sub-agents or clones of itself to go give it a post-it note to do a task, come back and be like, hey, clone number 1, I finished my job. Here you go. And then poof, it dies. The sub-agent dies and goes away. So I hope that kind of helps you see what we're working on here. So if I stop my screen, you'll see that here. And I'm also burning tokens just on the concept of like also making it be like our co-producer of what we're up to here. But it says 3 Claudius is working. This is what lessons compound look like. And we did the Marcus the hard way, figured out the model selection, the JSON gotchas, the 6 anchor curation rule, the wardrobe blocks. We wrote it down. Now 3 sub-agents inherit all of it for free. When this finishes, we'll have 3 cast characters, all consistent, all trained, ready for soul ID, and you'll be able to drop any of them into the scene, yielding to receive completion events as they arrive. So basically, these are the 3 sub-agents that are now green and running. So yeah, I want to show one last thing. So I want to show like how we can post this to an ad. So I want to say, hey, since we've been live now for 2 hours and 16 minutes, including Chrome crashing because we've probably been casting for too long, I want you to show us generating a Facebook ad. So you can use just an image from what we've generated today, maybe that high drone shot. And I want you to write a Facebook ad that says, you can generate a Facebook ad that says, if you want you'll have to improve the copy here, but essentially we built a video skill that you can connect to a roof claw that you can use to generate videos with an agent and have it working at 3 times the speed. The full skill is live at link, and give the link can be the link to the GitHub. And it's free and it's open source and anybody can use it. But I want you to kind of create that Facebook ad, and I want you to create like a carousel ad maybe of the video of some of the shots that we did today so that people could kind of see the evidence of our work. I don't know if we're actually going to run this as an ad. I just want you to get it drafted into the Facebook ads area so that way we can demonstrate to people what this would look like, because when we're done the video, we would do the same thing, but I just don't think I can keep everybody around for another 3 hours while we keep working on this. So now it is switching over from its Higgsfield skill. And this is kind of messy because I wouldn't normally do this in the same session that I'm doing the videos. Like I would generate the video, start a new session, and then go into the Facebook ad session. But I want you guys to see kind of the full cycle of we have the skill created, we have it all existing, we went through the storyboard process, we went through the scene creation process, we went through the character creation process, we worked through the bugs, we created a repeatable skill, then we deployed that skill and got 3 sub-agents working in like coordination with each other, and then we would continue going on the video creation, finish that, and then we would go and upload this to a Facebook ad. So all right, so what do we got here? So draft single image ad, we used her. Okay, so it's creating, oh, but yeah, basically it's just pulling up what our ad's gonna look like. So it's basically saying, okay, draft 1, single image ad, image, the V1 opening drone shot. What used to take a creative agency 6 weeks now takes an AI agent 6 hours. We built an open source video creation skill for Roofclaw. Story, storyboard, character casting, scene generation, final cut, same discipline pros use. Tonight, we live built a Super Bowl quality ad brand film in 2 hours. It's not quite exactly accurate. Free, open source, built for roofers. Well, yeah, ask for a refund. Draft 2, carousel, same copy, 5 cards, each a frame from tonight. Okay, each card links to the same GitHub URL, copy, critique, my honest read. 6 weeks, 6 hours is a punch. Built for roofers. Yep, free and open source. We might want tightening. Same discipline close roofs. Vague could replace with something more concrete like model selection. Revised version 2 if you want it. I'm with you. Go with the revised version 2 in the carousel to show off the work we did. Yep, proceed. See if we got a Carmen yet. I don't think we did. Oh, we did. Okay, so there we go. So we got her in the same mood. So if I'm going to go here while he's doing that, we're going to go stop share. I'm going to share our screen over here. Come over to Higgsfield. So you can see here. So we've got these 3 agents working parallel. So here's all the different shots of Danny, right? So Danny looks a little different. So we're going to make this a little bit bigger. Whoop. Right. So you can see Danny's clearly very different. And now we're getting Carmen. So here's Danny in about a bunch of different situations. Danny's eating a burger. Now, we got something wrong here with the ladder, but that's okay, right? We just don't upload this to Soul 2.0. But the whole idea is that we have to get something that's 90% close, because then when we go to Soul ID character, what it does is it takes all the right stuff and puts it here and makes it so that we actually generate some derivative work from all of the images that we create. And remember, this time when we go to create a character, we might actually not stop at 20 photos. We might go to the full 83. Like I might say, hey, I want to go to the full 83 for Danny and Carmen to do even better, right? All right, so back to the Facebook ad, still waiting on your call. Yes, you can proceed with the Facebook ad, and you can use the revised version 2 as well as the carousel ad. I agree with your decisions. I just want to show it. Go ahead. All right. Boys, this has been one heck of a night. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. I'm definitely going to keep working on this. As kind of like my weekend project, is seeing if I can make this video. And so it's going to take some work, right? But again, like I've wanted to make this video since 2023. If you guys remember at the beginning, I showed you when I originally generated that first time when I watched that video by Infusionsoft, and I said, I need to make a roof video like this for roofers someday. And I worked on that video, and you can see I've touched that script a couple times. There was a time when I almost hired people, and the people that I almost hired to make this video, who are going to use real actors, they wanted to charge me $50,000. That video that Senvar Roofing did cost them $50,000. The AI generated videos I showed you today cost between $2,500 and $7,500, and now we've spent less than $100. Less than $100. This is the $1 million skill. It's because then you can actually, oh no, my token expired. Oh man. Okay, so I gotta go refresh the token. 1 second. So I created a demonstration token because I thought maybe I'm gonna end up showing it on my screen. So I have to go back and generate a new access token. So generate access token. Continue. Then go to my permissions. Copy. So I'm just doing this on the other screen because I don't want to show you guys, obviously, the permission token, PW push. Here, paste, push it. So I will show this. So when I use this password pusher, I pasted the token. I clicked a button that said push. It's just a text box. Button says push. And then I get this link. And then I can take this link and I can send it over to, I can basically, yeah, sorry, I went to password pusher. I copied the link. I paste it into a box. I click share or push it. It gives me a link. And so then I can share that link. So like this is what it would look like. I come in here, I paste something, I click push it, and then that link I can send over to my agent and I can say, here you go. This should work. It's a new generated token for Meta ads. I actually typed like a chump. So if I go here, share screen, come back over here. Man, I wish there was a way for me to quick share or quick flip. Yeah, I know we were so close, Damien. They were so close. Okay, so what it did here. So yeah, so basically said, okay, generate a new token. So I generate the new token. And then it went there. Script is here. Okay, add all pause, 5-day cap, won't spread even if it won't spend, even if accidentally activated. Okay. So now I give it a say, okay, so pulling the token is alive, account confirmed, Adam Garner Sand, US dollar, status 1, active, firing the carousel script now. So it's now generating our ads. So then we should go to get into our ads manager. Ads manager. We're going to go get into our Facebook ads. So that way you guys can see it once it's created. So what you guys can see right now, so if I go remove, I'll split you guys over here. So this is my personal Facebook, so I don't run a lot of ads in here, right? I ran just one in here for a voice agent, right? Which wasn't a bad deal, right? We got 606, don't love that, 666, but you got that many link clicks. All right, so done, real meta ad created in your account. Now, did it post to Adam Sand or did it post to campaign? Oh, there we go. See, there we go. Ha ha ha. So we got our first ad. So here we go. Our ad is now created. We could run this ad and it's got two different creatives. It's got the single image ad. It's got the carousel ad. And so we could run this as an ad today and actually use it. And then it could monitor these ads for us, right? Like it can monitor the results and then change it. Be like, oh, I guess last lesson of the day. Okay. Last lesson of the day is what you guys need to know. Like, where does this get absolutely insane? Okay. So Andrew Carpathy, Auto Research. So this GitHub repo is called Auto Research. Okay. And what Auto Research is, now keep in mind, it's got 78,000 stars, 78,000 likes, essentially. Okay. And it was created like, what was it created? Like a couple months ago, right? Let's go pull requests. Like 150 times it's been pull requested. 150 times it's been done. 150 open, 211 closed. This here is a looping tool. And so let's come back to you guys here. But what this is this tool will actually, it's basically 3 steps. 1, it has access to read the results, to measure a KPI, click-through rate, conversion rate, cost per lead, some kind of metric. Ideally, the more frequent that metric can change, the better. Like click-through rates at the top, and the conversion rate of your landing page is the bottom, and then your cost per lead is the very bottom after that. So it can measure a KPI. That's piece 1. Piece 2, it can create a hypothesis. Like it can hypothesize from those results a different way, something to do better, right? 3, it has the ability to test its hypothesis. So think about what this has. This has the ability to manage your AI, your ads. It can read the KPI, click-through rate, cost per lead, cost per 1,000 impressions. It can look at a metric. 2, yes, we can see it already created a version 2 of copy right there within one chat prompt. It can create a new version of copy. It can say, you know what? I think this would work better. It has a hypothesis. And then 3, it can then go and create that. It can test it. So then it basically says, the ad's running. We're paying $50 a lead. Why? Because we're paying $4 a click. Why? Because we're paying $15 per 1,000 impressions and we're getting a click-through rate of 3%. I think I could get the click-through rate to 3.5% if I adjusted the copy in this way. Okay, well, I'm going to run that ad, compare them, and then pick a winner, and then say, okay, I was right. This one was a winner. Kill the old one, run the new one. Hypothesize. new one, run that. You can do 30 tests a week instead of 30 tests a year. That's where the real money happens in all of this. And so then you all of a sudden, you just get this little machine running. And this in the hands of somebody who learns this skill can be incredibly dangerous. Incredibly dangerous. So this is what I want you guys to pick up, is like that it's not about, you know, making whether this video, again, AI is like plastic surgery. You only notice it when it's done bad. But we're able to use it to generate a storyboard. Use that storyboard to generate a set of visuals and an emotional heartbeat of a video. Then use it to craft the scenes. Then use it to cast the characters. Then use it to create the soul. Then use it to create the scenes. Then use it to animate the scenes. Then use it to stitch the video together. Then use it to put the video on a Facebook ad. Then use it to run the Facebook ad. Use it to measure the Facebook ad. Use it to hypothesize an improvement to the Facebook ad. And then loop over and over and over again until it gets better, and keep pumping more into the pipeline. This is the $1 million skill. And so the last thing we're going to do today before I kill the live is we're going to update the skill. Okay, so we've probably had some more lessons learned. We've probably had some more ideas generated. I think that it'd be really important to just do one last pull request before we kill the live. Everybody here seems to have enjoyed the content tonight, so good job. I just want you to do one last pull request, and then we are going to kill the live. If you have anything to say to our guests, definitely post that up as a easily identifiable blurb inside of your response. And then create the PR. I'll merge it. And then that way anybody can now download this with their roof claw, and we'll keep updating it through the weekend as we finish generating the video. All right, let's see what Claudio has to say to y'all. If you guys have enjoyed this, do the thing where you like and you subscribe and you hit the little buttons and bells. Helps me out, makes me know that I should keep doing this stuff. If you enjoyed it, I'll keep doing it. I'll keep doing it until people tell me it sucks so bad that they can't stand watching it and they never show up again anymore. And until then, I'll keep trying to do this because this has been fun. This has been fun for me. I really appreciate you guys have a lot of ways to spend your time in a day. You guys chose to give me your time. I can't thank you enough for that. You know, it means a lot. You know, it's just you try and create something and people enjoy it. It feels good. So for everybody watching tonight, all right, so this is from Claudio. Tonight on Facebook Live, we built a Super Bowl quality brand film pipeline in 2 hours and 30 minutes. Entirely on AI agents in front of you. The full skill is now open source on GitHub. Any roof claw with a marketing soul can pull these lessons and start producing tomorrow. What you saw tonight: cast a fully trained character, generate cinematic hero frames, discover which Higgsfield models to use to do which jobs, spawn 3 Claude sub agents in parallel to cast Marcus, panel 2, new characters Danny and Carmen simultaneously, drafted a real meta carousel ad in pause status end to end through the API, wrote it all down so your roof claw inherits these lessons. Here's the repo. It's free. Stay tuned through the weekend. We'll keep you updated as we finish the actual video. 3 roofers, 1 ode, 1 stop source pipeline. Thanks for watching. Right on. All right, and we have our new merge, so then it's going to create me my new lessons. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you guys in the next one.